Don't wait to light the match.
Right.
That's what she said.
All right, we're live, so stop talking about Gunpowder Beauty like that.
I told you that. Never mind. I mean, you guys.
Well,
You just,
it being Mother's Day, the eve of Mother's Day, and you're picking on it. Anyways, listen. I know it's Saturday. I think I had a chat on Friday. Was it last Friday night I did the chat? Or was it Saturday? Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. This is my second one in 7 days.
Woohoo!
And anyways, Shalice is out in the what do you call it? And she has a what do you call it? A invite.
a link.
A link. You got a link. Anyway, hi everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, Shalice is out in the thing. Hopefully she'll be in soon. With the other Steve. But anyways, Ohio is on camera this week.
What's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Well, last week I had a bunch of people.
Phone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't get it to work. They did change things. I noticed that. I turned my tablet off and rebooted it and because tablets are just like a phone. You got to do apps. So I uninstalled the app and then I reinstalled it. And now I can use it.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
I guess that's the equivalent of unplugging it and plugging it back in.
Well, I'm glad you're here, sir.
Ain't got no gas in it.
But I grew 3.5 feet since the last time you see me.
Awesome. How'd you
Look
do
how
that?
big my hands are. Look at this.
That throne you're sitting on.
Look at this pop.
Is that one of those 8-ounce little skinny ones?
I feel like fucking it's 7 ounces. I feel like Andre the Giant drinking a Foster's beer.
And we got
put this one in one hand and the regular size in the other and be like, my hand's swollen. Look at it.
We have my other cohort, Mr. Stevie and Susie's Homestead, who by the way
What's up, everybody?
Who by the way is now back on Facebook.
Yeah. I bit the bullet. Well, Steve and Susie's Homestead is on Facebook.
Correct.
My personal one I haven't opened yet.
I got you, but I'm glad that the Homestead one is on there. So
I hate seeing that big F on my phone.
I'm sure you'll start posting pictures or what have you. Which would be obviously fucking cool. And then of course, you guys know that we have the ever beautiful Dish Outdoors.
Hello, everybody.
Do I hear angels singing?
Beside me and on top of she's beside me and on top of Stevie. I don't know if I like that too much, but hey, it is what it is. Sorry you can't join. I'm having to be mean, Mom, and take the wickets. All right. Well, hey, Gunpowder, it's all right. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. Ohio, happy Mother's Day. Stevie, happy Mother's Day.
Hey, I gotta read this message from Dish.
What's it say?
Hang on. I'm getting there.
It says your green light was lit first. Mikey sent you the invite first, and you're here last.
No, it says, I really, really hope you can make it to the chat tonight. I've missed you so much.
You know what? I got to see video on that. I don't believe you. Don't show her phone number. Jesus Christ. Don't be like
okay. So she didn't put the really, really part in and the miss you part.
Exactly. So you lied.
She did say, I hope you can make it to the chat tonight. And the way I read that was, I really, really hope you can.
Yes, and I did too.
Hey, SKS, what's going on, kid? Good to see you. I hope things are well.
My damn phone in.
Mr. Gear Gryden is driving but listening. That's
hey,
awesome.
Gear.
Thank you, Gear. Hope everything's going well with you, my friend. And Miss Shirley Chiselle is still out in the
she said she'd join us in 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah, well, you got to figure her main man was out of town last week. They might
Well,
have
I
some
know that
making
they're
up
not
to
done yet.
do.
I got you. But
Catching
Jesus
up.
Christ. But somebody his age, isn't it like 2 minutes worth of fucking see ya.
I don't know. He went trout fishing. He might be tickling her with his trout.
Right.
Yeah, but
Maybe-
Tish, you know what? Tish. You're
Hey.
goddamn right. Well, what's coming out of my mouth next?
Hey, Shalisa, make sure you check him good for ticks.
It's too. He didn't say check his dick. He said check him for ticks.
Well,
Dish,
in the
you
same
know,
general area.
Which you should probably check that area just in case.
Dish, you know as well as I do. It's 2 minutes. You're busting that, and you go.
Yep. Yep.
2 minutes worth of fucking time.
Yep.
2 minutes, dude. In 2 minutes, I can bust a nut and make a fucking sandwich.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
It
Because
takes me over 2 minutes just to bend over to take my socks off.
Yeah. Right.
I'm old.
he only had
hours.
one.
If we take that 2 minutes and add the 13 minutes it takes me to get up the fucking steps, then
So
that's
Shalisa,
15 minutes. That's 15 minutes of pure pleasure for her.
Shalisa, you said he only had one last night. Like one what? 2 minute drill, one nut. What did he have? Like one. What did he have?
Hi,
You know what I mean?
Cameo.
Hey, Cameo.
Hey, Cameo.
Hey,
sounds like
Cameo. See, I had to
Cameo.
wait for you guys to all shut up so I can say hi too.
Oh, a tick. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't know what you were talking about. How do I know? You know what I mean?
Hey, wasn't that a Cars song?
No, Candio was. For
Oh,
the Cars.
Candio.
Candio, I need you.
So
Remember that?
I'm not familiar with that song.
it
to
was.
be honest
It
with you.
wasn't one of their big popular songs, but it was really
off
good.
the album. It was off the album with the chick's face on like this.
Oh, yeah.
With the red
With them lips.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the Shake It Up album, right?
No. Shake It Up
Car-
was 80s. This is more like
That's the Cars.
that's the late 80s. This is more like it is the Cars. That's who sings Candy.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, isn't that the original album?
yes, that's right.
And
Shake It Up.
The Cars,
Shake It Up.
yeah.
Yeah, the Cars was the Cars, but that was the 80.
something. I was in New
Four.
Orleans.
84. Shake It Up.
Didn't Shake It Up have
I tell you
Man, I'm
what,
not-
you want your car stereo to sound its absolutely best, you put that first original Cars tape in, and
Yeah.
it will make your stereo sound amazing. I don't know who mixed who engineered that, but holy crap.
So Cameo, how are you doing? Stevie says Candio, absolutely. You know what I haven't seen either on Facebook either is
there,
Gerald-
I finally found it. Yeah, Shake It
Gerald
Up. You had the. I don't know if that was it was like the bartenders, the big silver
yeah.
Oh,
shakers. Yeah, that's
Shake.
what she's got in Shake It Up.
Oh, you
That
got
was
your
a-
greenhouse ready for the summer. That's awesome.
That's the one with the pinup girl. Candy is the one with the pinup girl.
Yes. You have to hey Steve, you're gonna have to catch up. Cameo's already got her greenhouse up for the summer.
Oh, I bet. She is quite the grower.
Right?
Shake It Up. Ooh, ooh. You know, my favorite car song was
Who's gonna drive you home
Home
tonight?
Yeah, that's a great song.
And it's a breakup
mean-
song too.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
Just
being
What
mean
I
to his
Needed
girlfriend.
is a good one, and
I like it, Just
Shake
What
It
I
Up.
Yeah,
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. That's a good one.
Right?
Cameo says, yep, she has 8 beautiful clones going.
Nice.
So that's cool.
That's my backup business if the chickens and the hogs don't sell.
Somebody's beeping.
Sing it, Ohio. Sing it.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
And wasting all my time.
Time.
Sing us a song.
Best party album.
There's an old man sitting
Moving
next
into
to me.
stereo.
I like when he says, "Lose my mind." Yeah.
Hey, welcome back there, Mr. Steve.
How was fishing?
Howdy. If you want to know about my trout camp excursion, I caught more buzzes than I did fish.
Hey, that's kind of like deer
Is
camp.
Is that what we're calling it now? Trout camp?
Yeah.
Sorry, Shalice, I had to.
Hey, real quick, I know I'm the only Star Wars nerd on the panel here, but
Yes, you are.
my son went to a surprise birthday party, and since it was like the week of May the 4th,
Yeah.
they made it a Star Wars theme, and he
Oh, really?
did a kick-ass job on his.
Jill.
Oh, nice.
on his Jedi. What's cool is
That's
he
all.
even did the.
I thought he was Princess Leia.
Oh,
He did
Why
his
would he
hair like
identify as Princess
one
Leia?
Jedi did in the one movie.
Yeah.
Why would he? Why would he wouldn't? So I put you on solo, and now you take away the photo.
Oh, what do you want? So
Movies.
that's the hair, like he did, like the
Jill.
Qui-Gon Jinn hair,
Yep.
and then let's see. There's the.
Oh, that's
Cool.
cool.
Can't get
So
the.
what-
Really good job.
Sorry, you're looking for.
You have your phone.
There
up.
it is.
There it is.
So what do Jedis wear under their garb?
Hell if I know.
We'll have to ask somebody
Hey,
at the
Shalice.
party.
Just for you, we'll start this chat off.
Mm.
Is that a
Oh.
baconator?
Now, why would you do that?
No, it's not a bacon. That's a
It looked
bacon
like
Swiss
ketchup and
mushroom.
It looked like
Oh.
ketchup and mayonnaise.
No, it was
none of that.
it was actually from a Greek place. So the only tomatoes they have is like the cherry tomatoes or the grape tomatoes, and they slice them in half.
Okay.
So when they do sandwiches and burgers and chicken sandwiches, they just toss these like grape cherry tomatoes on them, and
Dish, you're in charge.
Okie dokie.
God, that was quick.
I gotta pee.
Must be
And
diarrhea.
the lettuce chunks, like the that romaine lettuce that they put on like gyros and stuff. That's what.
Yeah.
Romaine's the best.
But it's a pretty good little restaurant. It's close to where I work, so it's a takeout only place. So
Cool.
Nico's Greek.
Miko.
Yeah, Nico's Greek.
I'll have to drive all the way to Ohio to go.
I know it
So
sounds
it
really
ain't, wor-
good.
it ain't worth that trip.
Okay.
It's
I mean-
good, but it ain't that good.
I mean, it ain't no Precious Big Boy or anything. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It's all right.
Susie's in the kitchen hooking up an ice maker, a big one. We're
Did I
gonna
ever tell you
try
guys
to.
what I bought my wife for her birthday this past year? The soft serve ice cream maker.
Oh.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, she's got her own soft serve ice cream maker. So thinking about buying the milkshake machine next. Start my own mom and pop's ice cream shop out of the house.
Right? Sell them
Slide the front window by the porch. Slide it open.
Yeah.
Chocolate vanilla twist.
Instead
You know how
of crack, you got ice cream.
You know how they slide the window open at the ice cream shop, and they're like, chocolate vanilla twist with sprinkles. Oh, that's mine.
Now you can really tell everybody that your milkshake is better than theirs.
Hey, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
And the cops thinking you're selling crack.
Yeah.
That if you get busted, you got to film it. That'd be awesome. SWAT kicking open your door, and all you got is like sprinkles and ice cream cones.
Who's first?
Back away from the sprinkles. What, Cat? I don't have any food.
They're doing these things around here, you know, since we're on the topic of kind of food, but not a food chat yet. They're doing this thing around here where these food trucks are all getting together and they post like on Facebook or something, and they all meet at the same parking lot. And just boom, there's like 30 fucking food trucks.
Wow.
Oh,
And people,
really?
yeah, it's just like, and people just show up and grab food to take home and stuff. It's like really, I guess, gaining some, you know, people really
Momentum.
like it. Yeah, they'll announce like on Wednesday or Thursday that they're going to be like at the Home Depot parking lot on, you know, 190th Street or whatever, and boom,
You watch. Eventually, some Karen will screw it all up.
fuck it up for everybody. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the negativity.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're not talking about like, you know, super chitty alley.
Talk about what?
What are we talking about?
Oh, we're gonna take this straight into conspiracy corner.
No, we're not. Not tonight. No, we're not. We're here to make fun of you.
Mike hasn't pulled his head out of the sand yet. He's trying to make believe this is a great world.
Who?
Whatever. That's cool.
Whose head's not out of San Ohio's? Yeah, we'll help.
Yeah.
We'll help.
I want another soda. And then I'll be up all night.
Well, that's what I just did. I had to pee. Got another soda. Haven't even opened it yet. Robbed my daughter's M&M.
I'm on the Vernors tonight. Is there
Vernors?
caffeine in Vernors?
Classic Michigan.
It's weird. I have in Vernors and I don't even have a tummy ache.
There you go.
By the way, Steve, we're in that area where I go camping.
Yep.
Birch Bark Graveyard.
Nice. Did you collect?
Why are you
Not
guys?
this time around. We got plenty.
I can
Cool.
fix you guys.
Yeah, we got a bucket full right outside the sliding door. Whenever I start a fire, it's so much better than paper. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I have to fix you guys.
And
Shift
actually,
plus 3.
if a little bit of smoke gets out, it actually smells good when that birch bark is burning.
Mhm.
To me,
Me too.
I did shift plus 3. Nothing happened, you bastard. Or hit shift 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
You can make a birch oil too out of it.
What are you trying to do, Mike?
So, okay.
what'd you
So,
say?
Stevie.
Make birch oil? What?
You can
Stevie.
extract birch oil.
You know how when you're on StreamYard and you have all of us appear together, right? And then you go down
Right.
the bottom, and then they're separate, so you can hit solo and all that, right? Well, the part where everybody's up here, right? The fucking squares are this big, and the parts that's down below is like this big.
Mm.
So I don't
That's
know
weird.
what the. So I'm trying to change the layout.
So your parts down below are this big?
Oh no, honey, my parts down below are this big. That's this, I'll tell you.
Yeah, in your mind.
Yeah, so it's my mind. Let it be there. Let it be. But now I can't. I screwed something up because I can't get the layout to. Okay, there it is.
Well, you already got dish right next to you.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's because Shalisa had to come in.
Have her look over your shoulder and see what you're doing.
Over my shoulder.
Have
Yeah,
Dish
with that.
look over your shoulder there on screen. Maybe you can help them that way.
Anyways,
SKS moving in stereo.
Yep.
You betcha.
Life's the same.
Except for my cues.
so when we were off air, Ohio, I was trying to convince Stevie to do like a 40-minute video.
Really?
Mhm.
Look what I stole.
Fair and square.
The Bill of Rights.
We the people.
Yeah, I went to a museum and it was just laying there on the table, and I just took it.
You did hear about that guy. You did hear about the guy that his wife
That is a good idea.
was on his ass because he was a yard seller, and he'd go to the yard sale and spend this, stupid little trinkets or whatever. And then so she said to him one day, "I want the garage cleaned out, and I'm not waiting." He finds that he had a copy of the Constitution. Okay. He bought it at a yard sale for, I don't know, $3, $4, something stupid, right?
Yep,
And it was one of the originals.
I heard that story.
Can you imagine that? I'd be like, I'd get on that phone, call the Smithsonian and say, "You got to give me at least $5 million. I'll give it to
What's
you."
a ticket?
Now, I've seen a news story one time where a guy had he bought a painting at like a garage sale or something. It was like, $10, $15 or something. And the reason he bought it was for the frame. He liked the frame. So he had another painting that he wanted to put in a frame. So he took it to the frame shop or whatever. And when the guy at the shop took the frame apart and pulled the canvas out, he noticed that there was like a reprint on that other canvas, and he called him in and said, "Hey, there's this photos, but this canvas has been it's like something on top of it." So they were able to strip that off, and it was like some like really expensive like Van Gogh painting or something that somebody just like repainted over for the canvas.
Wow.
Crazy.
Sounds like something my mom would do.
Yeah,
it was-
ditto.
I mean,
I don't like that. I'm just going to paint over it.
Yep.
This was a long time ago, and it was probably on like, I'm going to say there used to be a show called like PM Magazine. Do you guys remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an entertainment type thing at night before. I think it came on before Wheel of Fortune or some shit.
Wheel
It's,
of
Rich-
Fortune.
Fortune.
Jeopardy is Silent 7, Wheel of Fortune 7:30.
Hey, dude, I'm
Rain
telling
Man.
you, we got the TV at work, and every night it's fucking Wheel of Fortune comes on, and I sit there and go, and get dumber looking at it. And then Jeopardy comes on. You want to feel real fucking stupid? Is
I know,
fucking watch that shit.
My kid
Oh
brother
my
watches it,
God.
and I say to him, "I go, why do you watch that show? How many? Like seriously, how many answers did you get correct?"
I mean,
Well, I just like it, he says.
out of 100 questions, I might get 6 of them. You know what I mean? It was, and 3 of those are just because I'm fucking guessing. You know?
I hear that, and all I think about is Weird Al. I lost on
Lost on
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, baby.
The only one I did the whole
Ooh.
column one day because it was all about pool, not a swimming pool, the game of pool.
Billiards, yeah.
Yeah.
Packet pool.
Now, yeah, I've actually cleared the whole column sometimes when it's like music or movies or
Something easy.
first round, not none of that.
Not that
no,
fucking shit from fucking 1597.
It's into the show. Yeah, that first round, I'm good on 90s music. You know,
And you know what I
Star
say
Wars.
about these people?
and Star
Ohio.
Wars.
You know what I say about these people? First of all,
Get a
you
life.
have a photographic memory. You know, if you read something, it stays. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
oh, you are one boring ass motherfucker. You're just staying home, fucking.
Well, you know what? No, a lot of times you watch these people and they're really not very smart when it comes to overall, but they get like certain topics, like you can see it when they start reading off the names of the topics at the top. and you can see it on their face when someone is like, oh, fucking something on Shakespeare. The chick in the middle will fucking smile real big because she knows all about Shakespeare because she studied Shakespeare for like fucking 6 years in college, and she's an English major, and she's that's and then
Well,
she'll
that
run
and
that
they-
whole fucking gamut,
Well, that, and when you fill out the questionnaire to be on the fucking show, I'm quite sure that, yeah, what's your strong suit, what's your weak, you know what I mean?
Right. I just want to one time be like, this is
My favorite-
Dick Richards from Connecticut. He's a plumber,
My favorite
He's
still,
He completed the 10th grade and got his GED, instead of fucking all these other.
What they should do is make a real person's version of that show. I'll take small engines for 100, Alex.
Yeah.
I still think Cliff Clavin was the best.
Oh, Cliff was cool as
What
hell.
do these people all have in common? They've never been in my kitchen.
Fucking Cliff Clavin. I like when he walked in one time. There's like, how's it going today, Cliff, or something? He's like, let me tell you. I think it was Coach to the old guy.
Yeah.
He said, let me tell you, it's a dog eat dog world out there, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear or something like that.
Oh, you got Woody Harrelson. What do you say to a nice cold beer there, Mr. Peterson? Going down.
Yeah, Norm was the shit, man.
Yeah.
That was a good show. We just like my wife, she has to have the TV on at night just to fall asleep.
Yeah, mine
So
too.
if I go to bed the same time she does or close to the same time she does, I end up watching TV until like fucking 2 a.m. until it turns
Yeah.
off. And it's like we watched all of MASH. We've watched all of like the Big Bang Theory. We've watched all of it's like, oh, Golden Girls. She just needs something that she doesn't have to watch. If she can just hear it, she can close her eyes and relax and not worry about bills and did I leave the coffee pot on or the door's locked, all that shit, the shit that runs through her brain. Like when I lay down, when I close my eyes, it's just fucking blackness and that's it. Nothing runs through my fucking brain. And
God, would that be nice?
Oh, dude. Here's the thing though. That's great. But like one thing that my wife has, once she falls asleep, if you wake her up, you can say, hey, wake up. What's going on? What is it? Your phone's ringing. Hello? Okay, I'll be there in a little bit. Bye. Who was it? It was, such and such. I told him I'd be there in a little bit. Okay. Oh, how the fuck do you fall asleep that quick? Right back to sleep.
You tired?
That's Susie's like that. It's like
You nudge
I'm
me to answer my phone, and I answer my phone and talk to somebody for 10 seconds. I'm up.
You ready?
Might as well put the fucking coffee and
falling
eggs.
asleep.
I'm 13 years
I
old,
wish I
12
was
years
like
old,
you.
the hell it was. And
I can't hear.
they got my cousin. They
Oh.
got my cousin watching. I don't know where my sister was, because usually my sister was watching us. But anyways, they got my cousin watching us. And we had a small electrical fire in the cottage. So of course my cousin's freaking out. She sends my other cousin down to get her father. Blah 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 blah. So they're trying to wake me up. I'm like, what's the matter? She goes, oh, come on, there's a fire in the cottage. I go, what? She said, yeah, there's a small electrical fire. I says, where is it? She goes, downstairs. Okay, it's not upstairs. I'm going right back over to sleep. And when my father got to the cottage, he was fucking pissed. He was pissed.
Well, yeah, because there's no cottage left.
No.
No, but what we were just talking about a show. Shit, I can't remember what show we were talking about. You guys remember?
Golden Girls. Did you
Jeopardy.
see? Do you remember on the Golden Girls there was actually a guy before Sophie?
A gay guy, yeah.
What they try to
Oh,
make
like
it like Three's Company?
No, he's just the guy. He was like the first season, and poof, he's gone. They don't even say nothing. I watched this video on YouTube today. How people vanished off the fucking show. Like they didn't say like he or she went here, he or she. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Poof off the show. They did it on the Cosby Show with Lisa Bonet's husband there, the Navy guy.
I hate when they fucking change somebody. Like Becky.
Oh, I do
was
too.
saying.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, soap operas used to do that all the time. I hated that. You know, because the one girl wasn't as hot as the other girl. It used to piss me right off.
So I don't know about you guys, but I think we just all found out Mike is a soap opera guy watcher.
Well, I used to be, but I'm gonna explain. Let me explain myself first before you make fun of me, okay? Let me explain myself. You ready? Growing up with two older sisters, they had control of the TV. So it was General
I hear
Hospital.
you.
It was General Hospital for them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you another funny story in a minute about that. Anyways,
You know, all
Now-
right, I'm
now
gonna
I'm in
confess.
now I'm in college. All right, I'm in college, and somebody said something about Days of Our Lives, and so I said, "Oh, here's what happened on Days of Our Lives yesterday." Da, 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 da. I went through the whole thing. We start talking about Days of Our Lives. Before you know it, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm all that and then some. I'm really not. But when you have a good 15 young women around you talking about Days of Our Lives,
you're
Right.
gonna fucking talk about Days
you've
of
done
Our Lives.
arrived. You've done arrived. So I'll talk soaps any day of the goddamn week.
Listen, I got in trouble one summer, and I was grounded at my grandma's house, right?
Oh Lord.
And that meant that you had to sit on the couch with grandma all
Watch One
fucking
Life
day.
to Live.
No. I can tell you what we watched. So at 10 o'clock in the morning, it was what's the show with the doors where you got to pick the doors behind? Let's Make a Deal.
Places,
Let's
Yeah.
let's
Let's
make
Make a Deal was at 10, and then at 11 o'clock was Price is Right, and then at noon it was the news. So you watch half hour news, and then that's when after that news was up, you got that half hour. I could watch whatever I wanted for the half hour because she went and made lunch for us, right? So I'm thinking, hey, being grounded ain't too bad. I'm watching fucking, this and that, and it's not bad. So then I would turn on whatever, probably Brady Bunch or Mr. Ed or whatever rerun syndicated was on back then at the time. Then we'd eat lunch, and at 1 o'clock, Days of Our Lives came on.
Like
And
saying,
then Another World came on.
Yep.
And then after Another World, you had to change the channel and go to General Hospital.
because General Hospital came on on the East Coast. General Hospital came on at 3:00. I'm gonna tell you why I know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It came on at 3:00 East Coast. Yeah.
For all you women out there that remember General Hospital, or men, either way. Here's how far back this goes. I go to school one day, and my principal grabs me. He says, "Hey, Mike." I go, "What's up, Mr. Fay?" He says, "Can you do me a favor?" I said, "Sure." He says, "Can you tell me why?" No, how did he word it? Oh, he says, "Tell me you were in detention last night." As Mr. Fay, I wasn't in detention last night. He's Mike. It's not what I said. He says, "Tell me you were in detention last night." I said, "Mr. Fay, I wasn't in detention last night." He says, "All right, never mind. You're not going to help yourself. I'm not going to help you out." He says, "Why weren't you in detention last night?" I said, "You want the truth or you want me to lie to you?" He says, "No, I want the truth." I said, "Well, Mr. Fay, it's like this." I says, "So I'm watching General Hospital with my sisters, and I said, this guy Luke is in an avalanche, and I got to find out whether he's going to live or not." I said, "So I skipped detention."
Luke and Laura, baby.
He looks
I
me right-
have to admit, I
He
was
looks-
tied up with Luke and Laura.
He looks me right in the eyeball. He looks me right in the eyeball and he goes, "Does your father know?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Okay." He said, "You can't even make up a lie like that." He said, "So I'm not going to suspend you. I want to, because you're supposed to be suspended for skipping detention." He says, "But for such a stupid reason." He says, I feel for you. He said, I feel for you because you're going home after school and watching soap operas with your sisters. And I said, oh, well, thank you, Mr. Fay. He says, okay, you're welcome. Don't I get home after detention, of course? Don't I get home? And then my sister says, Dad called, you got to call him. I'm like, ugh. So I call my dad. I'm like, what's up? And he goes, so I got this interesting phone call today from Bill Fay.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, Dad, what did he tell you? He said, you skipped detention yesterday? He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. He goes, Michael. He says, please don't make me drive all the way with a kick your ass. And I go, Dad. He goes, you skipped detention to watch a soap opera. And I'm like, yes. I said, that's really kind of interesting. He goes, I stop talking, he says. He goes, stop.
I'm telling you, I got so into Days of Our Lives because you had the Bradys, you had Roman Brady and and his brother. They were cops. You know, they were like undercover cops.
Roman and
married Hope, the one that married Hope or whatever.
Yeah, Bo.
And then you had the guy with the patch, the name
Bo.
Patch. Bo and Hope. Yep. And then you had the patch guy. And then
Steve Nichols was his real name, and his name was Patch on the show.
And then you had,
I did not know I was going to be on a little old lady chat tonight. Holy smokes,
you had
Patch.
You had Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston's dad was the bad guy.
Was Victor Kiriakis.
He's Victor Kiriakis. Yeah.
All right, question. There's a side note to this discussion. Do you guys remember there was that soap opera star that did a song called Jesse's Girl?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was on General Hospital. Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Rick Springfield was dating Jesse, and he sang in that song.
There was John Stamos was on General Hospital too.
And then
Jack
Demi
Wagner
Moore.
too.
Demi Moore was too.
Oh yeah, Demi Moore was on there.
Back when
Tom
she was
Selleck
cute.
was on like The Young and the Restless or something when he was first starting out, I think.
Oh, yep.
A lot of big stars got their start on the soaps. There was some soaps that came on like later in the 80s, maybe closer to the 90s. They were like, because most of them were an hour long, but some of them they started getting like a half hour long, like Santa Barbara, Passions, and all this. And it was just like there were so many of them. I was just like, and my neighbor, she used to tape them on VHS while we were at school. And then, until we got out of school or whatever. And then she'd wait till her mom got home from work, and then they would like have other friends come over, and every day their house would be packed watching fucking soap operas.
Hey, Vanessa, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Vanessa.
I'm sorry the insomnia is bothering you like that. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that.
So she finds a good, boring chat to watch to help her insomnia.
Soap was a great show.
Oh,
Oh.
soap was awesome.
It was awesome.
Now, didn't Maude come from Soap? Or do I have my remember the show?
Maude. What the fuck did Maude?
The lady that was in Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Maude came from All in the Family.
Yeah, Archie Bunker.
She did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maude came from All in the Family and the Jeffersons. There was a bunch of them.
No, I knew the Jeffersons did.
Yeah,
And
Maude was the other
whatchamacallit
neighbor.
came from MASH. What do
Thank
you call-
Trapper
what do you call-
John.
Trapper John. But hey,
you,
not
Maud.
for nothing. Not
Yeah,
for
but
nothing.
MASH
If
was a
you-
comedy, like a comedy drama. But then that Trapper John was just a pure drama, wasn't it?
But if you guys remember correctly, like if you watched Hill Street Blues,
Yeah.
or if you watched
Religiously.
NYPD Blue, or you watched ER, or you watched anything like that, those are nighttime soap operas.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just with a little bit more money involved and a little bit better production. That's it.
You know what I mean?
Even when Mikey is saying the letter R, he can't say R.
What are you talking about?
When he said
The
ER,
letter, yeah, the letter R.
I said ER and soap operas. Listen, don't start fucking with me, okay? Because I'll get a troll account and I'll troll your fucking YouTube channels.
You can't troll my channel.
Listen, this guy sucks a dick. You don't want to talk to him. He's buying. He
Hey,
doesn't
as
even know
long
what the
as
fuck he
you
wants to
sub,
do.
as long as you sub, I don't care. It gives me the views.
Right?
Gail wants to know what's next: crocheting and knitting. Knitting, oh, the Alaskan Air Commander banned watching the television for the hours the soap opera were in at all the remote stations in the early 80s. Oh,
That
that
you,
sucks
when,
for them,
when
huh?
we're talking about soap operas, we're talking about the soap operas from when we were all kids. It's that, we haven't watched this shit lately.
Well,
What?
I am home during the day now. Here's the funny part. You ready? I haven't seen Days of Our Lives since I was probably 24 years old.
Same fucking storyline, right?
I could probably turn that on Monday afternoon.
And be hooked.
And except for the older people that probably all gone and buried, like
Yeah.
Mrs.
Be
Reed,
right back.
Mrs. Horton. I'm sure Mrs. Horton's dead by now.
Oh, yeah. You probably watch it for about
So-
4 days to catch up with who the new characters are, and you'd be right back into it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And the addiction will be all over again. So that's why I don't even turn it on.
Maybe we'll have.
Last time I watched the soap opera was when I was at 3 at my grandma's house. 1973 is the last time I watched a soap opera.
Wow.
Uh.
Back when they were sponsored by soap companies.
When it was nap time. For little-
I seen a video other day. It said, he goes, "Hey, Gen Xers or whatever, between this age and this age, when you hear this, what does this mean to you?" And it was like the theme song to MASH.
Yeah.
And just about every one of us was sitting there. We were always like, "Oh, time for bed."
Yeah.
No, mine was a Love Boat. When I was like 9, I don't know what year Love Boat came out, but when I was young, it was after Lawrence Welk.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
He'd be singing "Good Night, Sleep Tight," and my grandfather would sing it to us as my mother's saying, "All right, time to go to bed." I'm like, "Dad, do I really have to go to bed?" He goes, "What is wrong with you? Did your mother say it?" I go, "Yeah, well, listen to your mother."
I tell you what, my grandma watched the Lawrence Welk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and it
again,
was just-
we were kids and we only had 2 TVs, one in the living room and one in my grandfather's room.
we only had one, and it was
You know?
like, and of course at this time, we were pretty close knit. Like my aunt and uncle lived next door, and my cousins were next door and stuff, and then my grandma lived with us for a while, and it was like me and my cousins all sitting on the floor, and then all the adults. It was like that's what we did. The adults sat in the couch and the chairs, and the kids sat on the floor, and we watched fucking Lawrence Welk at 7 o'clock or whatever time it came on.
But in my area when I was a kid, 3 channels. And if you stayed up late enough, you could watch Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
But you had to stay up way late to do it.
It was if you stayed up late enough on, like, we had PBS. We had your 3 channels were ABC, NBC, and CBS. And then you would switch it to UHF or whatever, or VHF or UHF.
Yeah.
Put your TV on, on U, and then switch it to channel 34. That was our local at the OSU, Ohio State University, their PBS channel. And on that PBS channel at like midnight, Benny Hill would come on. And then after Benny Hill, Monty Python's Flying Circus would come on. And then after that, it was the close up of the American flag, and then it started playing the
Yeah.
national anthem, and then we'd sign off at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Time for all good little boys and girls to go to
You're
bed.
not supposed to use it.
Yeah,
We're not buying distilled water for it.
I'm just saying.
Use it till it breaks.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, you're funny, Shelley.
Quinn.
Burr.
My mom used to watch
What?
that show. Remember, I
Mine
never
did
watched
too.
it. But
Still water.
Oh, good. Cool.
Sully.
Yeah, Sully.
I remember big. I mean, I don't like remember about it. I just remember it being big in my life at the time. Was remember Who Shot JR? Remember that on
Oh,
Dallas?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
definitely.
Dallas?
That was
Dallas?
everywhere. That was
Yeah, that was-
T-shirts.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Dr.
That-
Quinn, medicine woman. Oh my God, Shelley, that was my mother's favorite show.
I think it was everyone's mom's favorite show.
And
That
by
little-
the way,
Go ahead.
none of the fellas thanked Maud for introducing us to Adrian Barbeau.
Right? The
Just
Wing
saying.
Commander and Hospital Squadron from Talon Joe's one. Jesus Christ. The satellite feed in Alaska rotated each of the huge 3 TV stations, ABC and NBC. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You know what was worse? Fighting at Monday night because Dad wasn't gonna let me stay up and watch Monday Night Football with him. So the girls and Mom won the TV. You know what they watched every Monday night, don't you? Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? I remember when I was really little, Little House on the Prairie was on, and it was the beginning. And my grandma, rest her soul and bless her heart, let me tell you, that little girl would run down that hill and them flowers, and she'd fall. And my grandma said, "That little girl falls every week when we watch this." You know, that's just that pure innocence of not,
Yep.
you know, like
Not
really think
comprehending.
about it. My TV was pretty new stuff to my grandmother, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
You know,
Because you're so damn old.
not really. It's just that most of my family, you know, they didn't have TVs, and I'm not going to say they were poverty stricken or anything. I'm just saying not everybody had TVs, you know.
Right. Hey, I'm part of beauty. You're right. What you comment? Who shot JR is now drop you off at the train station. I'm going to tell you what, though, sweetheart. I couldn't be more pissed off at that show for a couple of reasons. One, it went to regular TV. There was nothing better than seeing Beth walking out of that bathtub naked as in her birthday suit. Oh my good God. Number two, that was the best fucking show. Like, that's right up there with MASH. You know what I mean? I loved Yellowstone. I still watch the bits on on Facebook and TikTok and all that bullshit. But I'm so mad at fucking what's his face for fucking walking away.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
Yes. I'm pissed. I'm just
I mean, it ran its course for him. You know what I mean?
no, they could have
He does other. He's got a lot on his plate. I think, man.
It was such a great show.
Dude, I watched a Western with him the other day, and it was kind of a newer one, and it was fucking good.
See, they don't have TV shows that are run. You'll never have a TV show run as long as MASH did.
It was on. I think it was on Netflix. Shit. Well, I mean, like right now you got The Simpsons. That thing's been on for how long?
That's a fucking That's a fucking cartoon. Tom
I
and Jerry
know,
been
but
on for
still,
fucking
it's
some
still-
50
And well, Family
It's
Guy's
still a
really good.
half-hour sitcom that's been on the air once a week since 1980 something. You know.
Yep.
No, but I mean a regular.
How about Hawaii 5-0?
Book
Oh,
piano.
You know, that's one of the shows that when the theme song came on, I loved the theme song. But then I think it was time, like after the theme song, it was like I was allowed to watch that. Then I had to go to bed.
I was an Adam 12 guy. I used to watch one Adam 12.
And then the other theme song that I absolutely had to see before I went to bed was the Fall Guy. Oh my god, that was the best theme song.
No doubt.
Nope.
Yep.
I got one better than that.
Hardcastle McCormick. That was a great theme song too.
BJ McCain is my best friend, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put BJ and the Bear up there with the best theme song.
Survivor.
Come on now.
I mean, it's a good one, but it's not.
We're reaching back, honey.
I know.
Going back in time.
Still 25 years.
So I told you guys how
I can't remember the show that my favorite one, the one with the parakeet, with the parrot in it.
Loretta.
Beretta.
Yeah.
That used to be my favorite.
Conrad.
Fantasy Island. The plane.
Conrad.
I hated Fantasy Island. I don't know why. I don't know why I hated it.
Boss. Hey,
The plane.
what kind of M&Ms did he like? The plane. That guy. I'm like, look at the midget. My mom was like, oh my God, shut up.
It was like, I think Love Boat came on, and then after Love Boat, it was Fantasy Island.
Yep.
The Love Boat.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
At Grandma's house.
He was one little dude.
Then I got yelled at one day because watching Love Boat, and I forget her. Julie was her stage name, but I forget her real. And I think her real name was Julie Toos, was her real name.
Wow.
And I remember saying, "How come she's never in a bikini?"
Oh, she was like the director, the girl, the
Yeah.
director. Like
Yes,
they put her ass in bikini later on.
oh my God, banked on. Oh my Christ!
You
Yeah,
know,
buddy.
you know who else was in a bikini on that show as a guest star? Marky Post.
Yes,
Who?
Marky Post. He was from Night Court,
God
the
rest her soul too.
prosecuting attorney from Night Court.
Do you know who she played in a thing before she died?
She was on the TV show Chicago PD.
Yes,
Yeah, she played like a drug addicted mom or something.
my
to one
wife's
of the
like,
cops.
you know who that is, don't you? I go, no. She goes, that's Marky Post. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
She goes, it most certainly is. I goes,
yeah.
not
She died not too long ago, right?
yeah,
Didn't
no,
have
she hasn't been
cancer or
gone
something?
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Died of what?
I think
Yeah.
she died of cancer. I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought you said skin cancer. I was saying she could sue the Love Boat.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Julie too's getting into drugs and shit.
Big time.
You know, a
She-
sad one was that Dana Plato or whatever. her name
Yes,
is.
that was
Different
bad,
show.
too.
She was one of the first big celebs that got busted for coke and shit. That
But here's the thing: you give these kids all that money. What the fuck do you think they're gonna do with it?
Yeah, but the thing is, she went on Howard Stern, and that motherfucker berated her for 2 hours to the point where she went home and committed suicide. You'll never convince me other than that. I mean, you know what I mean? He embarrassed
Right.
her and just berated her and just destroyed her and that's all they did. And she cried on the show, and they made fun of her, and everybody was on the show making fun of her and everything.
I didn't know
But that's-
that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you didn't know
this
that?
is why.
And then she committed suicide like the next night or something, or that night.
Howard Stern used to be vicious. And it was funny if you didn't like the person he was interviewing or whatever.
Well, that was back before he was all liberal
Lip
popped
tart.
out, you know.
I don't
But
think
he,
Howard Stern's not human.
Piece of crap.
I like to know
Has
how much.
been.
I mean,
I like to know how much his wife took in a divorce. That's why I like to know.
I just want to know how come, you know, with the people that the left that like to cancel everybody all the time, how come they never canceled Howard Stern?
Well, that's
Because
the
he's
far,
one of them.
that's the far left. that
He's-
cancels the
He's
people, not the
really
left,
bad
not the
now.
left. The far left does that shit, not the left.
Now the movie that he did is like
Well,
an
the great
autobiography.
SKS, great theme song.
That movie, Private Parts, that he did was funny.
It
Oh,
was.
it was a great movie, dude. I
It
used to
was.
watch his show on almost every night on the E network.
You watch the E Network?
Yeah, I used to watch Howard Stern almost every night
Yeah,
on the
well,
E. It
what
was
the
on.
hell was I watching? What
Oh, I
channel
was
was it?
thinking Entertainment Tonight. I'm sorry.
What's the one? What's the one with was it a roast? No, it wasn't a roast. It was fucking
Howard
it was just
Stern.
a regular Howard Stern show when he had the two girl the girl doing the fucking baloney contest. He's got a girl in a fucking bikini and she's on all fours and he takes a piece of bologna to see if he can stick it to her ass.
I think Howard Stern bottomed out when he did that Fart Man stuff.
Oh yeah, he came down during the music awards as Fart Man.
But yeah, there was Howard Stern was on the radio, and then there was what's the name right after it? I'm Dr. Ruth
Oh Lord.
Wassenheimer.
There used to be, we had a local radio station that played some type of love connection thing at night, and it was one of the doctors.
Dr. Drew.
It was Dr. Drew.
Yep.
It was Dr. Drew and then another guy or something. That there's two of them on there, and then there was there was a lady that always gave advice to people. Almost like a Dear Abby or something, but she was on the radio.
Late night radio.
Oh man. Coast to Coast, George Norrie. Anybody ever listen to that shit?
But speaking of Coast to Coast, the one I used to like was Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem's Top 40.
That motherfucker had a voice and a half.
Right.
He was the voice of Shaggy, the original voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Zoinks.
No shit.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah,
No.
There's a great documentary about him.
Oh really?
Delilah Radio. Oh my God, Gunpowder. That's right. She's
that's the lady that gives the advice.
She's a disc jockey.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking.
She was in Boston. She was in Boston for a shit ton of years. Left Boston. How old is Sonny now? Sonny must be fucking 40. Her son, Sonny.
I have no idea. I never listened. I just knew about her. I never listened.
I used to listen to her. I used to listen to her every night of the week.
Oh, you know who else had a show that used to come on and it was like automatic turn that shit? It was John Tesh had a talk show on the radio.
Yes. But who was John Tesh's fucking sidekick, the chick?
Oh, on Entertainment Tonight, Mary Hart?
Mary Hart, right? You remember?
Oh.
You ready for this? They put
let me tell you about Mary Hart.
Wait a minute.
Let me tell you the secret about Mary Hart. I crawl across a mile of broken glass on my hands and knees to hear her fart over a phone.
Mary Hart. They put a desk in front of him one time.
We gotta see how much power.
The ratings dropped.
The ratings dropped, and people said, "Why is she in front of a desk? Put her back to it because they don't want to look at her legs."
Yeah.
A little piece of ice.
Susie successfully got the ice maker going.
Awesome.
Gunpowder. Delilah's on TikTok, by the way.
Yeah, but she had the nicest. That Mary Hart had the nicest legs until Stacy Keibler came around.
I wish I could put. What's the heiress? Paris Hilton's face on Stacy Keibler's body.
You like
Sammy
Paris
died
Hilton,
in 2012.
Who did?
Sammy or Sonny? What happened to him? Jesus, Gunpowder, I didn't know that. That's terrible.
You guys were talking about Dr. Ruth earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it because it was like getting sex ed from my grandmother. It was just
right.
really old, you know?
What? And she was German, wasn't she?
Yeah, something like that.
Westheimer, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she had a pretty thick accent too. Yeah, so it almost felt like she was punishing you when she was talking to you on the radio.
You ready? Hey, Gunpowder, here's how far back I can go. All right. I remember when she had him.
They're very cute. They're little tiny howls.
Yeah, but they're going to be useless.
Holy shit, I'm out of Pepsi.
Unless you can adjust it to make different ice. See how much it makes. So anyhow, we got the ice maker, or Susie bought the ice maker thinking
Nice.
maybe we don't have to buy ice for the cooler.
Yep.
I don't know. It makes like little pellets, little
Oh,
tiny hollow pellets.
Oh, the fancy ice. That's that fancy ice.
Yeah, they look like little Pac-Mans. I don't know if it's going to cut it or not.
Hey,
We'll
just do what
get
they
you
did.
a bottle of scotch.
Yeah,
Susie-
right.
Do what they did
Guess
in
I
the
have
old
to start
days.
drinking.
Do what they did in the old days and build a nice house.
You see that? You got an ice maker now. I got to start drinking.
You're drinking,
You're on the right track, Mike. I was gonna ask him if he's thought about an ice box in the winter.
Time to build
We-
an ice house.
We used to have at the lake. Well, it's a pond. If you guys ever looked at it, you call it a pond, but it's technically called a lake. Where I lived, where I grew up, back in the old days, long before I was born, they used to have two ice houses, one on the one end of the lake, one on the other end of the lake, and people would go and buy ice, and they would, either put it in their roots, either chop and do what they need for their thing, or use my grandfather was telling me the neighbor that was 3 houses down from us, back in the day when when it was a cottage, that motherfucker built a root cellar, and he would buy the cubes, put them in the root cellar, and even when it was 80 degrees outside in the summertime, he'd still have a piece of ice this fucking big.
Right on.
Which to me was just amazing. I mean, he covered with hay and all that. You know what I mean?
They used to use sawdust.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cover it with sawdust.
But yeah, he because I never thought about it. I'm like, how'd you guys do that? He says, oh my god.
I just missed the Iceman era, but we still got milk delivered to our house in glass bottles.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say
I'm old enough for that.
I can barely remember that as a kid because I remember our house where I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. I remember the house having 3 steps on a concrete little patio on the front door, and we had a little. I don't know. It was like built onto the house, and it was for the milk. Like it held the little cage. It was like a little cage that held like 4 glass bottles of milk.
yeah.
And this thing was like right there, and they would set it right there, and then put your empties out, and he would take them away.
We still have
back when we recycled.
Yeah,
we have a farm here that still does it.
we do too. We have a farm that sells, and they got the best chocolate milk. Oh my god, dude!
And he still does it in the old truck. I don't know how they must have found one, restored it, and I was like, oh, that is fucking awesome.
Well, ours doesn't do that. Ours doesn't deliver. Ours, I'm just saying, we have a dairy.
Oh
here
no, ours still delivers. But I like my wife we used to get our milk over the farm all the time, and I wish we still did.
This dairy I'm talking about, they still put it in the glass bottles though. So if you want milk, yeah.
But I used to get when the wife went to get the milk, right? I used to like getting the real cream.
Oh yeah.
For my coffee, and I'm like, oh.
Yep, you can just hear the fat cells popping in your hips.
I might do that tomorrow. I might get out and get a quart of that tomorrow because I think I want to try to make mozzarella cheese.
Oh, cool.
And I need heavy cream, so
I didn't realize how easy it was to actually make mozzarella.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't know either until I saw a video.
Ox milk or some damn thing.
No, you can use it's heavy cream. It's heavy cream.
Okay, Google that.
What?
What mozzarella cheese is made out of.
Yeah, or how to make mozzarella cheese. It's simple.
The guy I watched used heavy cream, and then he had it in like almost like a skillet, but it really wasn't a skillet. But and then you have to stir it and stir it and stir it until it forms a whey, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got to drain it, and then you got to do all that, you know. And this one guy,
there's like a cheesecloth is involved, right?
And then he nuked his. He nuked his though, and then he put it in the fridge for 3 hours and let it chill, and then But see, my thing is I would have to make 80 of them because a ball of mozzarella this big ain't lasting but fucking 30 seconds in my house.
Right.
You know, I am terrible with cheese. Provolone and mozzarella are my two. I'll just sit there and go like this all night.
Yeah.
Mine is Colby Jack. If I get a block of
yummy.
Colby Jack and I cut it
Yep.
into cubes or whatever, man, I'll eat a whole block of that shit in like
With some
5
green
seconds.
olives.
Extra sharp.
What's that, Shalisa?
With green olives, Colby Jack and green olives.
Yeah, eat
Yes.
like 2 blocks of that one night and then wonder why you
Is it
can't
olive
sit for a
milk?
week.
Green olives. What's that
Oh,
shit
not
I
how
used
to
to get
make
at the deli with?
What it's made
What's
of.
the shit I used to get at the deli with the red thing and the green olives?
Pimento.
Pimentos.
Pimento
Pickle
loaf.
Blah.
Oh my god, did I love pimento loaf?
I got a big block of it in the fridge.
I don't know why I loved that when I was a kid. I loved it.
Yeah, I used to like pickle loaf.
What is it made out of?
Yeah,
Hey,
my
peanuts,
mom
guys.
likes olive loaf.
Mac and cheese loaf.
Peanut scars.
They make a mac and
Hey,
cheese
buddy.
loaf.
Yeah, mac and cheese loaf.
Never
Really?
heard of it.
Yeah.
Is it a specialty someplace, or can I just get it like? Do they sell it like right next to like the Oscar Mayer and shit?
Yeah, next to the Oscar Mayer.
Oh, okay, I want to check it out. Thank you.
Gunpowder wants
Wait,
to know what pimento loaf is.
What is
I like
this?
mortadella too. Mortadella is good.
Mortadella.
Olive loaf.
Okay. I don't know. One of those white cheeses are originally made out of like ox milk or something weird.
Oh, Mikey, you might like this. I seen this other day.
Yeah,
And
you go milk a buffalo.
I know that, Mikey, you do like pickled eggs, right?
No.
I love pickled eggs.
Pickled
That's
eggs.
what I thought. Okay. Yeah. So
I
they
absolutely love
I
pickled
watched a
eggs.
guy the other day. Do you like deviled eggs?
Both.
Yes.
Okay. So this guy made deviled eggs out of pickled eggs.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah. He pickled the eggs and then he got them out, sliced them, put yolks, and just did everything like you would, and just made deviled eggs out of pickled eggs.
You had the little paprika shit and all that bullshit too.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I was like, man, I don't
Let
know.
me tell you how bad
That'd be
stinks.
dangerous if because I'd love. My thing is, hey, you want to help me eat these 4, hard boiled eggs? Oh no,
Oh my
thanks.
God.
Then you want to help me eat these 36 deviled eggs? Fuck yeah, I'm in. You know what I mean? It's like,
Speaking of eggs, what did the eggs say to the boiling water? I don't know if I can get hot. I just got laid this morning.
Nah.
That sounds like a Steve joke with his dad joke.
Yep.
I watched this couple, Mike and Jen, on TikTok. And she's always, Michael. And I just got stuck with him because, that's what the wife calls me.
Yeah.
So, and they do some funny shit. And they're on Facebook too. But she says, hey, Michael, and I fucking started pissing myself laughing. When she ever said that joke, I was fucking dying.
Is that the ones that do the dirty jokes, or she says really shocking, dirty things to them?
No, he does. He'll say,
Oh,
he'll say that. Well, it's mainly him, and he'll say, she'll say to him, "Is this a dirty joke?" And he'll go, "I would never tell a dirty joke." And then he tells a dirty joke. But Jen, look
best-
up if you go to Facebook. If you go to Facebook and look up Mike and Jen Harrison, that's their last name is Harrison. They are fucking a riot. Then there's another guy I watch on TikTok. He says some fucking nasty ass shit to his wife. He goes, write this at the end of everything he says. He goes, write that down. And I'm like, oh. Is that
There's
you heard it?
another husband and wife team where the wife does all the dirty stuff, and it is hilarious. Just randomly
Yep.
said stuff.
Yeah, Gunpowder. That's them. They're the fucking. They're awesome. I also like the one with the guy and the wife from Seattle. And the only reason I know they're from Seattle is because he's always wearing a Seahawks shirt, and then they were at a Seattle Seahawks game. So, but he'll say something like, "You know why I liked when you were pregnant the most? You know what I loved about you when you were pregnant the most, baby?" He says, "What?" He goes, "I can call you a cow and not get yelled at." And then he'd walk, he'd make a face, he'd walk away, and she'd fucking throw something. And he's obviously got the camera in his hand, right? And you can see this broad never misses. Whatever she's throwing at him, it'd be a fucking can of Coke, whatever it is, she always gets him at the top of the head. I goes, if she ever threw a fucking pan, it's all over.
I watch the guy that has the Vietnamese wife named Moon. Have you ever seen him and her? Like
No.
her parents live with them, right? And he's an American, she's Vietnamese.
Dude, you're killing me. I was literally just thinking about the way you said that when I was out there just before dark digging that ditch tonight.
I know, right, Pete Nascaz? I was just thinking the same thing after you said that. I'm like, wow, fucking Pete Nascaz is right on the money.
But oh my god, she gets mad at him and she like flips her shoes off and she'll catch him and throw them at him and shit. But he does things to her. He'll walk up and tell her, like outside in the front yard, he'll say, "Hey, Moon. She's like, he goes, I'll take you to dinner tonight to your favorite place or whatever if you can do a squat and hold it for 2 minutes." And she's like, "Oh, you want to see squat? I do squat for 2 minutes." And so she does her squat, and he'll run into her dad and be like, "Hey, dad, Moon's outside twerking or something for the neighbor."
Twerking,
And
yeah.
the dad goes out and sees her. She's all squatted over. Dad fucking takes off his sandal, starts beating the fuck out of her. Get the fuck in the house.
Yeah. You get in the house.
Yeah.
I've seen those guys. It is hilarious.
Yeah. They're funny. He sends her into stores to buy shit that doesn't exist constantly. Or he sent her into like a fucking bakery one time asking to tell the baker that she wanted a cream pie and shit.
So like this guy, who I was just saying earlier with the Michael and Jen there, he says to her, he says, hey honey. And she's like, yes. What's the difference between a knife and your wife? So of course she says, oh, they're both deadly. He says, okay. He said, but what's the difference between a knife and a wife? And she says, I don't know. He says, the knife has a point. And I'm like, this is the shit that I get fucking stabbed in my fucking sleep for.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I seen one other night. It was like a young girl. It was like a girl and her mom or something. And he was like, hey, mom. And the mom's like, what? She's like, what's the difference between my pussy and a refrigerator? And I was like, oh, God, what? You know, she's like,
the blonde mom.
That's the part when they pull the meat out of it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the one guy, hey, Ma. He does the hey, Ma ones.
Yeah.
She's always eating dinner or something.
Yes. Yeah, the old lady. Yeah.
Those are some good ones, man.
Yeah, he does get up with some good ones.
Is that the one where the dad always gets a joke and just totally cracks up?
No, that's the one with the little boy telling his father.
Yeah.
That's a different one though.
He's a fucking riot. But the one that Ohio's talking about is just he's an adult male He's like, "Hey, mom," and he'll tell her the most dirtiest fucking like gay joke, lesbian, whatever.
Yeah.
And she just goes, "Oh."
He's the one that told the Titanic joke to his mom
Yes.
about the, remember the kids?
But the kid, Stevie, the
You don't
guy,
remember, Stevie? The Titanic hit the iceberg. Titanic started to sink, and the doctor says, "We need to get to the lifeboats." And the teacher said, "What about the kids?" And the lawyer said, "Fuck those kids." And the priest said, "You think we have time?"
But the one you're talking about with the father that's always cracking up,
Yeah.
that's the little
The
boy.
mom would look like she didn't get it, or she would be disgusted, and the dad would just be cracking up.
And he's always like on the other side of the room and shit.
Yeah.
Just laughing at,
Hey,
just laughing.
Dad. So I got in trouble with the teacher today.
Oh, that's the Johnny one. Yeah. My son got me watching this Angry Italian Dad. Have you seen that?
No.
Mikey, you crack your ass up, dude. It's fucking with his dad, and he says the fuck after everything. And he's like, "Hey, I need you to help me with these Christmas lights." He's like, "I can't. I got stuff to do." He's like, "No, you told me that you were going to help me with these Christmas lights this weekend." He's like, "I told you I got stuff to do, Dad. What the fuck?" He's like, "What do you mean the fuck?" He's like, What's up with this jersey? Look how big it is. It's huge on you. Trying to go to the Super Bowl? What the fuck?" And he's just saying the fuck after everything. And the dad's like, "Why you keep saying fucking the fuck all the time?" And they just and he gets so fucking pissed, man. And there's other videos, and he's got two sons that just fuck with this dude, and he looks like he's a made man. You know what I mean? He's that Italian type.
He's at the pinky ring. He's in the terry cloth sweatsuit.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loves.
Get the Adidas on. The Adidas sneakers. Fucking.
He loses his fucking cool within like 13 seconds of every video.
Well, how many bags is it
like,
putting out? How many bags is it putting out? Got enough for a cup yet? Uh-oh. That might have to go in the garage sale pile. We'll find some state land and drop that shit off. That's how you tell when you can find state land up here. You look for the trash pile.
Oh no.
Oh man.
I would love to find fucking somebody doing that.
Took a little ride the other night. We bought a Jets pizza, and I didn't feel like sitting on the couch and eat it, so we took a drive, Pizza and a drive. It was freaking awesome. Come up to this spot, you go way back in the woods, and then you come on this huge cliff to overlook the river. Kind of like that spot I took you, Dish.
Oh yeah.
But better. And some asshole went back on that little dirt road and probably dumped 15 or 20 loads of dirt that he dug out of a basement or something.
Oh man.
On state land. I mean, it's dirt, but still,
Yeah, but you don't know what's in the dirt.
Yeah, a fucking block in it and all kinds of shit.
Well, I'm more worried about, a gas that leaked on it or whatever.
I'm watching the what do you call the game ones up here in up in Maine and New Hampshire?
Assholes?
No, Northwoods Law. I'm watching Northwoods Law, right? And I think it was Maine. It doesn't really matter. It was either Maine or New Hampshire. Anyways, fucking they come. I don't know if a hunter found it or whatever, but here's this fucking trailer that's been in the woods for fucking 8 million years. Fucking trash everywhere, right? They wind up finding the fucking guy that owns it. And they made him come out and clean it. And he's giving the guy a bunch of shit. He's giving the fucking warden a bunch of shit. And I forget the warden says to him, he says, "Well, here's the thing. If I find any more trash on the way out of here, you're going to pick that up too, because I'm going to assume it was you. I'm fucking, yes. No, I can't stand people that fucking when I can go in the woods when I'm hunting, or even if I'm just just walking through the woods, and especially when I smoke like a fiend, and I come home and I got fucking 15 fucking cigarette butts in my fucking pocket, I think I'm quite sure that you can take your fucking beer cans with you, your fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, you know what kills me is when you go fishing, you go down to the bank and there's like 3 or 4 empty worm containers and
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
blowing
Beer-
all over the
a
place.
beer bottle or something, or a 40 ouncer.
Yep.
Dead
People are just
body.
they're just fucking ignorant.
Yeah.
You know, they're just ignorant.
Dead babies.
Just another day on the Ohio River.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. That's a
Well,
good
And
one.
then they wonder why the next time they go fishing, there's a fence across their, access
And
point.
they're doing that. They just did that down here on the river. They fucking blocked it off. And I'm like, because people are fucking being ignorant.
Yeah.
And they're down there at night. They're down there fucking making all kinds of noise. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. But some guy is pissed because I guess that was his little fucking honey hole. And he's on the Facebook page. Why do you ignorant bastards have to do this?
Yeah.
Just go to a spot, take your shit out with you, and don't, and just fish.
I mean, it's like when I
It's
go
not
to
hard.
like a public fishing area or camping or whatever like that, you leave your site or your area cleaner than you found it.
Right.
Like, you know how many times I've taken big old bird's nest of line and somebody else's worm
Oh, yeah.
container and their McDonald's bag and hauled that shit out.
When I taught my oldest nephew, I taught him how to fish. When I teach him how to fish. And this is rule number 1 about fishing. First thing you need, he says, well, Uncle Mike, you need a rag. He says, why? He says, you don't want fish smell all over your hands, do you? He says, the first thing we knew, we're going to need a rag. And I says, now we need a bag. He says, we need a bag for us because somebody's going to leave trash down there. And, and if somebody doesn't leave trash, you got to take your own trash out. He's 40 years old. And he still goes there with a rag and picks up his own. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
people just it dumbfounds me how you can just. I mean, listen, I'm not I will flick my butt out the fucking window when I'm driving my truck. Okay, I get it. It's not right. Whatever. I'm not taking a Pepsi can and throwing it out there. I'm not taking a half-eaten sub. I'm not taking a half-eaten sub and throwing it out the window. I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't throw dirty diapers out the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not
cigarette
leaving
butts
dirty
will
diapers on the beach.
decompose.
People that leave dirty diapers on the beach should just be punched square in the face. First of all, the thing weighs 10 pounds because the fucking diaper's probably fucking full of water to begin with. Now it's full of water and shit.
Right.
I have to admit, I did leave like almost 2 dozen worms one time in the parking lot at the marina. Yeah. Just putting my poles away, set them on top of the car and forgot about them and drove off. And I got home and I was like, where the fuck are my worms at? I was digging all over my car looking for my worms.
Shit, at $4 a dozen, I'd make sure the worms are in the cooler before the fishing pole's put away.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Then you know what else I like? You want to talk about fish. This is what pisses me off, though. And I'm not usually if there's somebody fishing,
Easy.
I won't, because we're shoreline fishing, right? So if there's somebody fishing, and it's not really a giant area, I'll just go somewhere else. or I'll go, either I'll go to a different river or lake, or I'll find a spot on the same river. Just, that's not to bother people. So now I'm there.
I'm not into that shoulder to shoulder stuff
Yeah.
either.
So now I'm there by myself and I'm fishing. I'm having a good day fishing, right? Well, can you really ever have a bad day fishing? But you know what I'm saying? I'm catching fish. And this guy says to me, he says, "Hey, is there enough room down there for 2 people?" I says, "There is." I says, I says, but it's, it's not tight, but it's, if you cast all the way to your left and I cast to my right, we're going to cross each other. You know what I'm saying? I says, so you just got to watch where we're both, He's, yeah, I get it. Don't you know the fucking cocksucker comes down with 4 rods? And I look right over at him, and because I'm not bashful, and I said to him, I goes, that's ignorant, right? He goes, what? I says, you asked if there was room, and I said yes, and I said we just have to watch how we're casting. He says, yeah. I said, you got 4 rods. You're holding one, and you got 3 over here. He says, yeah. I said, where the fuck am I going to cast? He says, well, you can cast to your left. I said, what if I don't want to?
Right.
I said, he says, well, you said there's room. I says, yeah, for you. Not for you and fucking 3 rods. I'm like,
Might as well have 3 people.
I'm like, what the fuck? I said, you know what? I says, the world's all about you. I says, here you go. Now you can fucking go up to your truck and get another fucking rod. Oh, if you're going to be like that. No, you're just being a douche. I can't, I just.
You know what I couldn't stand was
This is why I like ice fishing.
if you.
Because you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it.
I never could understand, like, if you're at a place fishing and you throw in and you get a good bite or a hook one, somebody's like, you see their line go right. Like, I just pulled a fish out of there. You think another one's going to bite right next to it? Really?
No, it's just, I mean, I move for the guys that come down with their kids, 1 or 2 kids or something. I'm like, hey. He goes, no. I said, no. I says, fish you with your kids. Give them enough room. I says, because we've all been there. Kids need room. So, and he's out there. I says, no problem. I says, do yourself a favor. He said, what? I says, hook up a rig. You got a decent sized weight. He's like, yeah. I says, put it on the bottom right there. I says, and you're gonna land a fucking carp. He says, yeah. I'm like, yep. He says, I caught 3 of them already. He's no way. I says, yeah. I says, his old timer was down here. I says, and he said he's been baiting it, 4 or 5 days in a row, and he caught 2 carp, took them home to cook them. He says, the guy took carp out of this river. He's gonna cook them. I says, dude, that's an East Coast thing. I says, you go West Coast and fucking everywhere else, they eat carp with no problem whatsoever. I said, so. I says, it's like catfish, right? I says, because we don't get catfish like they do down south. He goes, horse shit. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I pulled out a 5.5 pound catfish out of here 2 years ago. I said, get the fuck out of here. He's like, they're in here. So anyways, he said, hey, thanks for the heads up. It was no problem. And when I left, he was rigging it to put it down for the kids so they can catch a carp. But
You ever try to fish there with some chicken livers or anything at night?
no. I don't really. I've only fished at night. Well, when I was young, I used to do it all the time to go for hornpout. But I never used livers, chicken livers. We would use for hornpout. I would either sometimes use just a small piece of fucking night crawler, like literally just a little tiny piece. And because we had my grandfather used to have bamboo, just for catfish only, we would have bamboo rods. They were huge. And there's no reel on it.
Right. Cane bowls.
Yeah. And you just, boop, here's another one. Here's another one. I miss them. They were leaning. They were all in the cars when the cars caught on fire. I'm pissed. But
It's-
yeah, so no, I just
Still
used
sell 'em.
regular bait. I never used. Although I did see some guy using bacon the other day. This guy took a piece of bacon, cut it in half. You know, he took a strip of bacon off the thing, cuts it in half, slits it, puts it on a jig head, ties it with some, I forget what kind of line he said. It wasn't fishing line. It was some kind of line, but it wasn't fishing line. Ties it onto his lure, throws it in, and don't you know he catches a fish? And the wife just started laughing her ass off because some other YouTuber said, "You guys should try fucking using bacon." And I'm like, "No fucking way, bacon."
Well, number one, bacon tastes better on toast, but other than that, I used to use hunks of like bacon fat, ice
Really?
fishing. Yep,
I'll have to try it.
little chunk. It looks just like a mealworm or whatever.
Yeah. I should
It's
try
white.
that.
They'd eat it,
Yeah.
and it lasts forever.
We'd use canned corn and Velveeta cheese for trout.
That canned corn is illegal in Michigan.
Is it really?
You're really
Yeah.
not supposed to do it in mass
No
either.
corn.
You're really not supposed to do it in mass either for the cop, but people do it. They do it all the
I
time.
don't know. I couldn't tell you if it's legal here or not or whatever.
They do it at night when they can't get caught.
I haven't.
Well, they say
fished for
the
trout.
fish
I haven't fished for trout since I was a kid.
the fish can't digest it.
Salmon eggs for trout.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Salmon eggs.
Do you think that's what the corn is supposed to do? Is maybe mock
Probably.
eggs?
Probably. Yep,
Yeah.
I bet
'Cause
you.
you can get the salmon. Well, I don't know if there's salmon eggs, but you can get the eggs that are yellow, well, yellowish, golden-ish, if you will, and then you can get the eggs that are red. I don't know if they're both salmon eggs, but I know one because when I was a kid, my grandfather was his tackle box, and back then the fucking tackle boxes were fucking metal as a motherfucker, and his was fucking looked like a toolbox, not a fucking tackle box.
Right.
And I said to him, like, "Papa, what's in the jar?" He goes, "Oh, those are salmon eggs." I go, "What do you use salmon eggs for?" He says, "Trout." I'm like, "Oh." He said,
I'm
"But
wondering,
we
I'm
don't do that
wondering
this
if
spring."
the corn and the Velveeta cheese, because we used to roll it up in little balls and put it on the hook.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was just to mock salmon eggs.
I would
Probably.
think so.
But there's a bunch of different rules that people get away with down the south that we can't get away with up here too, Stevie. Like I
What's
saw Blue Gabe was catching blue cats, them fucking
fire?
14-pound fucking catfish. You know how he's doing it? He takes a fucking 2 liter of fucking Pepsi, right? He pokes a pinhole in the Pepsi cap, right? They tie a balloon or whatever you call those, not a mooring, but you know what I'm talking about, right? A buoy. They tie a buoy on it. Obviously, the Pepsi bottle doesn't sink,
Be going bed too.
but it leaks all the
Burying it.
soda in the water. And because it's the sweet smell and taste,
Yeah.
they catch them all day long. And you know what?
No
I don't
kidding.
understand it because any fucking catfish I've ever caught, I got to fish the bottom. Our little horn pout are only, pound and a half, 2 pounds. You're lucky if you catch a 2-pounder. And they're on the bottom. I've never caught a horn pout on the top of the water, ever.
Right on. Now, see, down south in the warmer water, the darn catfish act more like a bass than a catfish.
Really?
You catch them on lures and stuff. Yeah, it's
Jesus.
crazy.
Hey, Chris makes stuff. The New England game ones don't mess around. No, they don't, Chris. They do not. Welcome, by the way.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, they don't. Wait a minute. Is that my buddy Chris? It won't let me click on his name.
Yeah, good luck with that nowadays. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Susie's on a mission. I don't know what she's doing.
I'm trying to see if
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Good
She
night,
gets-
everyone.
Aw,
Need some sleep.
happy Mother's Day, Shalisa.
You're saying, yep.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Peace and love.
What are you on a mission? What you doing? I got the
Now.
munchies bad.
You do?
I did too.
Well, who's eating?
I'll tell you what, my wife found the best thing ever. They look like pizza rolls,
Mm-hmm.
but they're White Castle cheese.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
You throw them in the air fryer on like fucking 400 for about 7-8 minutes. Bam!
man, I haven't had White Castle in a minute.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what-
They don't sell them. There's no White Castle around here. Our closest White Castle is where we used to live, like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And they had, when we first moved here, they had one that shut down right when we moved here. And it was
Oh,
like, it was one of those ones that like didn't get business and stuff. It was like the last one in Northern Ohio. So there's none around here at all. But you can buy those like 4-packs or 8-packs or 6-pack of little cheeseburgers or hamburgers in the frozen food section of them.
they can't
Those
be the same.
They're decent, but no, they're not the same. But they're decent.
Right.
They almost cure the itch for when you're craving the White Castle. You know?
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Because I had to go to the YouTube side of things. Chris, how the fuck you been? I hope things are going well. It's always a pleasure. I always look at you on Facebook. For those of you who don't know who Chris is, you actually do. That's you guys remember Wyndham Woodcraft?
Oh, yeah.
That's Chris
Hey,
Cool.
Chris.
from 100. Seems like 100 years ago, right, buddy? I hope things are well. Hope the fam's doing good.
Well, remember, 5 years is 100 years in YouTube time.
The artist formerly known as Wyndham Woodcraft. Yeah, he's the artist formerly known as Wyndham Woodcraft, who now turned into Neil Peart. Well, he always was Neil Peart because, you know, he is. If you ever listened to, ever seen his stuff on Instagram or, what do you call it, Facebook? He's one hell of a drummer.
Drummer.
I told him. I said one time. I commented on his thing. And I said, Neil Peart's got nothing on you. Oh, it's great to see you too, my friend. It's great to see you too. I was, I don't know if I ever told you that. I was coming back from hunting one year and playing lots of music, still enjoying the outdoors. That's awesome. Just not filming. That I know a lot of people aren't. That's cool. I haven't done a video in fucking forever in a week. But that's cool.
Can you guys hear that?
Trev, what's going on, kid?
Hey,
Yeah,
Trevor.
So I'm leaving. I think it was the year. Chris, was it the year my stepfather died? I think I left early. I think it was. And anyways, I met Chris for a cup of Joe.
Cool.
That was fun. That was fun because he wasn't. I drove right by, so. But that was seems like forever ago. Seems like forever ago. Trev, how's things going? I hope things are well. I know, but and then life just, life just moves too quick sometimes, and working the 2 jobs, and now, well, now I'm home, but now I'm more busy now that I'm home than I was at work. Makes no sense, but I am.
Oh, by the way, the Big Dipper is right straight above the homestead tonight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You must see a zillion stars up there.
Oh my God, dude.
That's
It's-
what I
it-
love, dude. That's why when I go up in Maine and go hunting, Chris knows where I hunt.
Get
It's
away from the
northwestern
street
Maine.
lights.
As soon as
Yeah,
you, and
all
I'm
the
in a
lights
small
are-
little village. I'm in the village of Rangeley. It's this town called Aquasic. Okay, and so the only light, there's no street lights. The
Right.
only light you have is from the homes, cottages, whatever you want to call it, right? So if you can get out of the tree line and go, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
dude, it's like somebody turned the fucking lights on.
Hey, maybe somebody knows. When I look to the west,
Okay,
a little bit north from here,
so
there
northwest.
is a orange. Yeah, but it's more west than
I
north.
got. I'm only breaking your balls.
West by northwest, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see this. It's got to be a planet, and it looks orangish.
Really?
Anybody have an idea?
Well,
I
it's
actually don't.
definitely going to be a planet. I think all the planets are lining up this year. Did you know that?
No.
It's going to,
I think I heard
it's
something
one
like that.
thing that's going on for the first time. You know how you got your solar system and, and everything's,
Yeah. And then they all line up in one straight line.
they're going this year, we're going to line up all the planets in a straight line.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
orbit.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
Trev, that's cool.
I'm thinking it's probably Venus.
It's big. I mean, it looks big from here. It's huge, but it's
Or maybe-
kind of orangish, yellowish.
Well, maybe it's Mars.
So Google it.
Okay.
Trev says Trev
idea.
said they have one more weekend of Gages hockey. Then he's hopefully going to get some fishing in. That's awesome,
Okay.
Trev.
They have a phone app
Is just
that you can point at the stars and it tells you what you're looking at.
Really?
Yeah, I wonder if it's iPhone only or if they got it for Android also.
Both P NASCARs and Trevor both said that it probably Mars.
Huh.
P NASCAR says isn't Mars orange, and Trevor says it's probably Mars. So
It's also low in the sky and just about always in the same spot.
I see. I have too much light around here.
Out here, it's dark.
I know. I love it. And you know what else I like is that I don't so much like it if I need a pack of smoke. So I want, if I run out of something, because they have a little corner store down the street. So I don't have to run all the way into town, which is like, I don't know, probably 15, 20-minute ride.
Right.
But anyways, I can travel a mile on it. You know what I mean? Anyways, the fucking place closes at like fucking 6:30, 7 o'clock at night every night. I'm like, holy shit. But here's one thing I do like. Right across the street from there is a gas station.
Oh,
Okay. Are you ready for this? 24 hours. Not the
Really?
store. Not the store. He leaves the pumps on.
No kidding. You put the money in a box or something?
No, it's just, what do you call it only?
Credit card only.
here you go, Mikey.
Debit or credit.
The brightest planet visible northwest in the evening sky during May of 2025 is Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Ah,
Jumping Jupiter.
It appears high in the west after sunset. Mars is also visible in the west in the early evening.
Well, Stevie, how early is it early evening or late evening, Stevie?
dark.
Okay.
So
dark,
not
dark.
not
I mean,
real early, but
if
it's
you go
one
up there
of the.
right now, you're still gonna see it.
Oh yeah,
Jupiter, then that's probably Jupiter.
It's probably Jupiter.
it looks huge.
Let's see. Tonight's sky.
Fuck, I gotta pee again. Hang on, I'll be back.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, and Saturn. They're basically pretty much all lined up right now. You're starting to see them all. You can see them all. Is what they're saying.
Cool. I'll go buy me a $40,000 telescope tomorrow so I can see them.
We had a fucking nice ass telescope that we got the boys when they were young, and they never used it. And I
bet you the neighbor ladies know they used it at least a few times.
no, this thing was so zoomed in on stuff you couldn't use it
Right.
on, like, I couldn't zoom on land anywhere. It was like, and we used it once during some type of comet or something that we seen,
Right.
and we never used it again. And somehow one of the pieces got broken on it, so we ended up selling it in a garage sale. The guy bought it, said he thought he could be able to fix it. So it was, but it was a nice telescope, and I don't know.
I had one for a minute, but
nobody knows how it got broken. One of those stories, you know.
I had one for a minute, but it didn't have any of the eyepieces that you had to put on it. So you couldn't see shit except for a big blur.
Well, that's what broke off of it was because this was like a kind of a short, stubby looking thing.
Yeah, that's what mine was, short and fat. That's what she said.
And then it had like an arm that came off of it with the thing that you look down in, but then you had all these different lenses that you would put in it.
Yeah.
That's what they broke off of the damn thing. And the guy's like, "Oh, I think I can fix that." And I was like, "Okay, have at it then, bud." Because I mean, it wasn't super expensive, but I know it was probably over $200. You know,
I don't even remember where I got mine. Probably out of the trash. It's probably why it was in the trash. Oh, look, a telescope. Never mind.
Holy cow. I just pulled up some telescopes. Some of these damn things are $7,000.
They had a guy in New Orleans down in the French Quarter, and he had a huge telescope on a cart, and he would charge you $1 to look at the moon through it. And dude, you could see rocks on the moon with this thing. It was cool. But that thing had to have been 4 foot tall, 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. That's awesome, though.
Right? Yeah, he built a little wooden cart and he used to tow it with a rope.
They sell at Target a National Geographic telescope, and the damn thing is nothing but a spotting scope that you can get at Walmart. Probably pay $100 for, but you can buy it as a National Geographic telescope for $40.
I used to love that show when I was a kid, man. That theme song. Da 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 da. Boom boom.
It's about what they had, something like that. It was like,
especially it's the only place you can see naked women. You can see naked
Naked
women on HBO.
With the real long, remember they had the real long lips that had the holes in them?
They used to put dishes in them.
They put the plates in them, and then they did ear things, and then I watched something about the ones that did the neck.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yep.
Neck shows their account.
Dish does that on Friday nights when she goes out and parties. She gets all goth and puts all her nose shit in and
I don't know if I can picture dish of golf.
goth. Did I say golf?
No.
Oh.
The people that just like no. I mean, if that's you, but that ain't her.
That's Ohio echoing as always.
I don't care where you are, but you know.
Here, let me see if I can fix my echo.
See, he just fakes it. He's actually not doing nothing. He just makes us think he is
How's that?
perfect.
Cool.
What are you doing in here?
It's funny. I turn off my echo canceling, and it doesn't echo.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, does it? Now, does it
Sounds
now?
like they put a delay on it.
up.
Because
Shut
it
up.
starts
On your
to
mouth.
echo and then it cuts off, but it makes a big old glop sound.
Is your cat down there with you, Mikey?
Yeah. He's all black there. She's beautiful.
Okay.
I think he's
Don't let
hunting.
them cross your
Hey,
path.
hey,
Speaking of black cats,
I think he's hunting.
Hey,
I got a
Stevie,
black-
remember when we went to Kent?
do what?
Remember when we went to Kent and I showed you the pho place, the Pho King restaurant,
Oh, yeah. Fucking.
Pho King, yeah. Check this one out.
He's getting big though, Tish.
I can't read it. What's it say?
Liquor Mighty Taco.
My daughter makes.
Say
my
it again.
My daughter.
Liquor Mighty Taco. Sorry.
My daughter gives him. When my daughter gives him a treat, she'll go sit down, and I laugh at her. I go, "You're not a fucking dog."
Right.
She'll go sit down. The fucking cat will sit down.
Nah. My cat fetches sometimes,
I don't think he'll. Let me see if I can get him.
but I
Usually,
got a big old wildcat here, man. That thing looks huge.
he's
and
up
it's
all
all
night.
black.
Sleeps all day.
He was after a rabbit tonight,
Uh-oh.
and I scared the rabbit and got in between the rabbit and the cat, and that fucking cat's looking at me like he wanted to eat me. That
Oh,
thing's got
no.
a pumpkin head like you wouldn't believe. It's like, holy shit, it's huge.
Oh, it ran from him.
Nope, he's not in a picked up mood. He's too awake. Oh, he's too awake to be in a pick. He's too awake to be picked up. For me,
Okay.
anyway. The girls, all the girls, my wife and the two girls can pick him up.
Well, that's
Boy.
good. It's nice to see you're prepping with some fresh meat if shit hits the fan, Mike.
Oh, stop! I don't eat cat. Not when I can shoot 48 rabbits in front of my house or trap them. Either way, shoot the deer that walk back in the field.
Give the lady the $1 at the taco stand.
Although I'll tell you, when it was funny when I used to partake in alcoholic beverages at a local watering hole in the town I grew up in. We were right beside a Polynesian restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I swear to God, I don't know if they did it, if it was just our shit luck on the time we would order it. No word of exaggeration. At least 6 times out of 10, we'd order something on a Saturday night or whatever. Okay. From them.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we hang up the phone, not 5 minutes later, all you hear is the dumpster fucking door closing. And I'm like, oh, they're getting their rat for dinner. And it was just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But can you believe that mean husband said I cannot steal a lynx or a bobcat? So rude. Good luck trying to pick one up. Let me know how that works out for you.
I got a guy that I work with had.
You
He's
want to
got-
talk about looking like somebody just ran through barbed wire.
He used to have a cougar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it died of like old age. It was
Then he divorced her.
no, but now he's got 2 bobcats now. He's got permits and shit. He's one of those big cat.
He's a rehabilitator.
Yeah, something like that.
That's why he has the permit.
His backyard's cool as hell. It's all fenced in, and then it's like it's netted on the top.
Oh,
Like these,
wow. Yeah.
so everything's fixed in and netted, and then he's got like trees that are like they're real trees, but they're not growing. They're they're like habitat that they use for cats or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
Yep.
damn things climb everywhere. They jump, and he's got like a little pond out there with like a fountain, like a waterfall, and they play in that and everything. But it's cool. It's like going to the damn zoo, you know. He feeds them fucking whole chickens, like raw chickens. Like
Oh,
he'll buy,
wow.
yeah, he goes to the butcher and buys raw chickens, and he's got some videos on his Facebook page, and he goes to feed them. And fucking things are like, it's like, like goddamn, man. I don't know about putting my hand down there where they're trying to eat a fucking whole chicken.
Right?
What are they?
Bobcats.
Cool. We got them up here. I haven't seen one yet, but I haven't been in the woods much.
I'm still walking down my street. There's only the
Cool.
condos behind us, so it's my apartment complex and the condos behind me, and the field that the deer watching was separated. We're in the middle of the day, and they're all like, "Look how big that cat is!" I said, yeah, that's why they call them bobcats. And they're like, "That's not a bobcat." I said, "Okay, it's not a bobcat."
No shit.
Lady comes out with a camera, and she goes, "Mike," I go, "What?" She goes, "That was a bobcat." I think I said that. I says, "How? There's no way a house cat's ever going to be that big, guy. Sorry."
Unless
I
it's
said,
a
"Seriously?"
friend of mine has one of those Maine Coons or something they're called.
Still ain't gonna
Man,
be
those
a
things are
bobcat.
beautiful.
That
I had
thing
one.
huge.
I had a Mancoon, but they're not as big as a bobcat.
Oh, I see him climbing back there, Mikey.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
There's a black cat
Black cat
back there
right there.
climbing.
See him on the chair.
Shadow.
It's Shadow. Shadow that can't have a shadow because he's black. No, he's a good cat. He just doesn't, like I said, like in the mornings when he's like lethargic,
Yeah.
they let me pick him up. But he's up all night long. Unless the only reason why he's not at the foot of my bed is because I'm up and he's, this is something new for him.
Oh, okay.
Usually he doesn't come in this room. Or I just close the door. But because I've been up 3 times taking a piss, I got him off the bed because he was sleeping with my wife. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
so he heard somebody up, so now he's Rich 4150. I haven't seen him in a while.
Hey, Rich.
Saturday night. Oh no, it's a what do you call it? A notification.
Oh, I didn't know we could have snacks during the chat. Fuck. I'm starving.
I'm still eating the M&Ms. Dude, the bag's like this big. Every time I go for a pee, I get a handful. No, but he's a good cat. Except he my wife was in the basement, which is right beside me over here. And I guess he caught a mouse. And she started screaming. I come down, like, what's the matter? She goes, oh, he got a mouse. I goes, well, Rich. He said, I don't know. I said, he didn't get a mouse. She goes, oh, no, I saw it was in his mouth. I goes, okay, he didn't swallow it. I says, that means, he was playing with it, and it got away.
Or you'll smell it in a day or two.
Bro, nothing worse than that stink, except for worms.
Right?
Dead rotten worms.
That's just disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
It's either that or fucking, the only other disgusting smell of that is Ohio's fucking farts. After eating pickled eggs.
Smells like fucking roses, man.
Stop.
You know what? After hanging out with the guy for a day or two, he does smell good. I can
Listen,
vouch that.
and don't even think doing the old trick of beating pineapples and stuff. You know what I mean? He must have walked up the door. You want a Maine Coon? They do get big.
Yeah, like
I've seen some that were giants, but man, are they expensive to buy one. Holy.
yeah,
You know,
she paid like $2,000 for this damn cat.
I
And
never bought an animal in my life.
it's so big now she can't handle it. She wants to get rid of it.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
I don't know, understand how people can spend all this money on an animal.
I don't know.
I mean, I spent $700 on my Jack Russell.
So here's the thing. But we didn't have to pay for the turtle because it was for school. It's for school, so my wife doesn't have to pay for that. But even when I was a kid, we never paid for a dog.
Right.
We've had one. I had one cat. The fucking thing lasted fucking years, for Christ's sakes. The poor thing was blind as fucking blind can be. And we used to turn the light on if we wanted to go downstairs. But when she died, it wasn't too long after that. Some lady at my mother's work had the Maine Coon, and she said, "My cat had kittens. Would you like one?" Well, what kind of cat is it? It's the Maine Coon. What's that? My mother's not, it's not like she's a cat connoisseur.
Right.
Nor was I, because back then I thought the only kind of cool cats were dead ones. But she got that Maine Coon, and holy shit, he got big, and he lasted forever too.
I just found out my cat is 18 years old.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. We got it from my oldest daughter, and we were talking we were texting the other day. She's like, holy crap. She counted up how old it is. 18. That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Cats will live. I mean, if they're, I think this Maine Coon my mother had lasted about 18 years.
No, that's a good snack with some Jiffy. Oh, yeah. Look at him. Look at him go.
You got peanut butter in my chocolate.
Oh my God. Stop.
Huh? No, it's still full enough to reach it. Mmm.
See, no, I didn't do that to you.
Okay. Totally forget about a snack like that, because that was the commercial, your peanut butter.
Right.
You talk peanut butter. Then it's like, oh, we got Reese's, It's like, fuck.
But my this cat here, Dish, is only he'll be a year old in June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was born like the second week of June. We got him when he was 8 weeks old.
Aw.
Already potty trained. For free.
Yeah.
What did they?
Even a good one of the day. Guy took a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Good night, P. NASCAR. It's great to see you, my friend.
Night, NASCAR.
Night peanut stars.
He took a Reese's peanut butter cup and he dipped it in marshmallow fluff,
Mm.
and then he put it over the campfire and put it on graham crackers and made a s'more out of it.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That sounds good. I grew up on a farm. My father did.
I'll use the fluff.
My father didn't farm. My grandfather did. I was raised that cats belong in the barn. We had tons of cats, but none in the house. Yeah. Yep. I hear that, Trev. I hear that. Even like people like our friend here, Stevie, Homestead, and a lot of people at Homestead. I know a few homesteaders where I go in New Hampshire, and their cats aren't house cats. They're there to kill rodents.
Yeah, my last cat. It was me and my cousin. We lived in this old farmhouse, and she was a barn cat, and we let her in the house one winter, keep the mice and shit out, and he ended up just turning into a fucking house cat. That was just, but she was mean as fuck, man. And
Because she was outside too long.
when we had to move, and I moved into an apartment, and I couldn't take her, and my cousin moved into an apartment, he couldn't take her, so that's when my wife, we were dating at the time, my wife took her, and then turned her into a real fucking house cat, babied her.
Yep.
You can actually pet her and stuff after.
That's my wife. That's my wife. My
Right
daughter.
on.
That's my wife and
My-
daughter. They got a fucking.
But
My cats have never been outside.
Yeah, this one hasn't been outside either. But he stands by the door, and he'll stand by the. I'll open the big door and have the storm door. Just have the storm door closed. He'll put it. Oh, there he is. He'll put his. Want to come up here and say hi? Come here. Come on. You want to come up and say hi? Let me see if I can get him. Is he there?
Never pictured Mike as a cat guy.
Is he
I
there?
figured some big old nasty snotty bulldog or something maybe.
No, they drool too much. I don't like. I'm really not.
I know
I
that's
mean, they're
gross.
fun to look at. Definitely. I mean, my brother's got the fucking English Mastiffs. He's got an English Mastiff that weighs almost 230 pounds.
Wow.
And I told him, it's a good thing that thing ain't black. He goes, why? Somebody will fucking shoot it. There's a fucking bear.
Really?
I did not
And
I did not think that was going that direction.
I'm
You
not-
know, bull mastiffs were bred to eat people.
yeah, bull mastiffs, were not
Yeah.
the English mastiff. But they
They used to guard the castle and shit.
they do this. You get fucking snot this long going everywhere.
Ah.
hey,
You know?
that cat before we were married, when she would come spend the night at my house, get up in the morning to get a shower, that cat would wait for her. And when she came out of the shower, that cat would attack her every time.
Ah.
So I had a dog. We had a pot shepherd, pot Great Dane, and then I don't know, something happened in the neighborhood or something. They had to get rid of him. And the story, legend has it that I was like 3 years old, 4 years old, or something. That, I was, I cried for a month. So then somebody's dog had puppies or whatever. My grandfather, my father, it was pot beagle and something else. That one died. I was in, I don't know, 4th, 5th grade or something. She laid underneath one of the neighbors' cars, was talking to somebody in the street, and she didn't get up enough in time.
Oh.
But we kept one of her pups, and my brothers. Remember that little toy Digger the dog?
Little toy what?
The little toy dog, and the jingle went, Digger the dog, Digger he goes with you. Remember that? Or am I too old? Apparently I'm too old. Anyways, this thing was brown and white. It looked like a cow, really. But it was a dog. And anyways, this dog that I had earlier that died had Digger, and
She seemed to jump up in the air behind Mike.
we kept her, and that dog, anywhere I went, she went. Anywhere I went, she went. She loved me so much, she decided to have a litter of puppies on my fucking foot of my bed.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
lovely. Yuck.
And I wake up, I'm like hearing all this. I'm like, fucking, there's no mice up here. And I get up, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I get up, I go downstairs. And of course, as soon as I went downstairs, my mother heard me get up and everything. She says, what's the matter? I go, the dog just had a litter of puppies on my bed. And she goes, no, sir. I go, yeah, what do you want to do? She says, well, she's gonna stay there because I don't want her getting all upset and this, that, and the other thing. I said, okay, I'm sleeping on the couch.
What?
But yeah, no, and we gave pups away to everybody, and then we kept another one of hers. And we called him. He was part boxer, so he was beagle and boxer. She had a nice, beautiful face, coat, and it was awesome.
That's a pretty that combination is pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
almost
it is really.
we had a beagle, we had a half beagle, half German Shepherd. And that thing, he looked like a German Shepherd with short little fucking legs. His ears stuck up and everything, man. He was a cool little dog. Had big old fucking feet.
And two of the worst dogs for fucking separation anxiety you can own is a beagle and a shepherd.
Beagle Shepherd.
Oh yeah, they are. They're two notorious dogs.
It's a lot thing because he was my mom. My mom, we used to have to trick him, like ring the front doorbell or something like that, or knock on the door to get him to run to that side of the house, so my mom could leave out the garage and drive away.
They have wicked bad
He
like
would throw a fit when she left the house.
Yep. My oldest dog, Mitzi, the one that died underneath the car. We would leave, and we'd come back, and notoriously the trash would be all over the kitchen.
Oh yeah, my Jack.
It wasn't because she was hungry either. It was, you're an asshole for leaving me.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a kid. I was, 11, 12 years, whatever it was, 10 years old. And I remember saying to my mother and father, she's probably mad because we left her for a few hours. Because she's always with us,
Mhm.
Right.
But
Well,
anytime we went, like Christmas or something, we went to visit relatives. I'm like, why don't you just put the trash on the back porch?
I with that Jack Russell, we were talking to the vet one time. He said, "You got any questions or anything or whatever?" And my wife was like, "Well," it's like she's like, "When we come home from work, and then we got other things to do or whatever." She's like, "Fine, all day long when we're gone, but if we come home and then we stop at the house and we change our clothes and we go do something else, when we come back, there's trash all over the place." And he's like, "Well, he's suffering from anxiety." He's like, "Because dogs don't have no sense of time, so it's like." You being gone all day and then you're there for that split second and then you're gone again. He's thinking you're gone all day again, He's like fucking, oh my God, who's gonna feed me? Am I gonna I'm dying,
The shepherd my ex-girlfriend and I had, well, it was her shepherd. I just moved in. But, I took care of him more, And he was so bad that she didn't train him. She didn't do anything. And so when I got there, I'd hug her, and he'd come in between the both of us and like climb. He'd put his paws right in my chest,
yeah,
and he'd climb up. And while I'm hugging her, he'd come right between the two of us. He put his hand on my, and he'd go, and I go, "You growl at me one more time, as your ass is gonna get kicked all over this fucking floor." And I said, "Get down." And he'd get down. She's like, "How do you get him to listen?" She says, "First of all, he hates guys." I said, "You know why he hates guys? Because you didn't train him. That's why he hates guys." I says, "He thinks he's top dog, no pun intended, and he's not alpha." And I'm serious. It was so hard to break him. So hard. And then the only thing I couldn't break him on was a separation disease or anxiety, because we'd leave and there goes another couch, there goes another chair, there goes more fucking window fucking casing, and
Hey, I trained every dog I've ever owned. I've trained not to be on the furniture. They don't up on the couch, and they never get to be above me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't ever let a dog be above you. Don't sit on the ground with them and let them be superior over you. You stay above them. You know that's what I was taught from people who been training dogs their whole life. So But we've never had a dog on the furniture. But I let this last one we had. I let him on the bed, and that was a mistake because he got a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. So,
Oh no, my brother's
once
fucking.
you put them on the bed, man, that's it. That's theirs.
My brother's mastiff thinks they're fucking poodles. I think they're fucking lap dogs. You sit on the couch and it's like, oh.
Yeah, no, my dogs never go on the furniture.
But that shepherd, I mean, I loved him, but he was a pain in my balls. He was a pain in my balls. And then she was a bitch because she fucking calls me when it's the shepherds have this thing where their fucking intestines twist. Notoriously, that's their intestines twist on. If you catch it early, they can, you go to the vet and give them fucking 15 grand, and they can stop it. But she didn't. So he
had the hip displacement too on Shepherd. Is another.
No, I wasn't with her for fucking years. And I got a phone call because she called somebody that, she called somebody that, a mutual friend of ours. And anyways, she says, I got to put him down. And I said, no, I'm sorry. She says, well, I was kind of hoping. I said, hoping what? And then she asked me to come. She couldn't do it. I'm like, son of a bitch. I haven't seen this fucking broad, talk to this broad in years, and then she calls me to fucking have him go take him down. Fucking wanted to kill her.
Sounds like a free blowjob. Just saying.
I was married.
Oh, I didn't know you were married yet, you ding dong.
You did it.
I thought this was an in-betweener.
No. Her and I split up in 90. Let me see. Technically it was 99, but then we were just friends with benefits in 2000. And then that's the last time I saw her was 2000. No, yeah, that was the last time I saw her.
Did you take
I saw her in 2001, right before I got sober. I saw her. And that was the last time I saw her until she called me in like 2000 fucking, I don't know, it was 2009 or 2010 to put him down. And I'm like, miserable bitch. I agree with you, Ohio. This is Trevor Fillmore. I agree with you, Ohio. We got a pup a year ago. I'm the only one he'll listen to because the rest of them spoil him. Yeah. Then they ask why he listens to me and they spoil him because that's why.
So
you're right.
Mikey, did you take that dog in and have it?
I had to because I wasn't going to make him suffer. So, and she wouldn't do it. This is that girl. Remember last week I was telling you this is the girl that fucking would laugh going to a wake. It's like a nervous thing. She's got this
That
thing.
can be embarrassing.
It's not that she would laugh that he's taking him. She couldn't do it. And so I drove because she lived 3 houses down from my mother. So I went down and stopped in for my mother, had a cup of coffee. She said, what do you do? What's going on? I said, I gotta go get the dog. She said, what dog? I said, Pepper. She says, Jesus Christ, what's the matter? I go, no, he's gonna go. I said, I gotta go put him down. She says, why do you have to put him down? I says, don't ask questions. I'm gonna answer them and I'm just gonna get pissed off even more. So I had to finish my coffee with my mother and went down and got him and brought him drove a half a mile to the fucking vet. You put him down. But I hate doing it. I had to do it on my own. And I walked him up there. And then I walked home with a fucking empty leash and a collar. And I it's not that I haven't had a dog since, and it's not because of that. It's just, because I'm in the place I'm at now, I can't have a dog. But,
right. Oh yeah, man. My youngest wants another dog, and you know, when that Jack Russell was 14 years old, and most Jack Russells don't live that long, but
Right.
he was 14 and he was still just chasing balls and having a blast. And then one day he had a seizure, fell over, and he had a tumor in his stomach. Just once they discovered it, it just kept growing like crazy, and his body filled up with fluid and stuff. So we had to put him down or whatever. But
I think Jack Russells are cool.
oh, he's one. I went to the pet shop to get a fucking turtle. I came home with a $700 Jack Russell. You know what I mean? He was a badass little puppy, man. He was cool as hell. But yeah, and then after he passed away or whatever, it's like I wasn't ready for a dog, and the kid wanted a dog bad, so they ended up putting up the dog. And I'm just like, oh man. And I was like, all right, whatever, you know. But I really didn't want him. And then of course he grew on me, so there's another 14-year commitment to, you know.
Yep.
He was another one that was awesome. That we just put down not too long ago, last year. And my youngest one wants another one. And I'm just like, man, I do not want another dog right now because, you know, both of her parents just passed away. You know, we got one boy in college and one getting ready to be a senior. There's nobody wants to take care of this dog right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a bad time to ask for a fucking dog.
Right.
And you get to, you know, well, I'll make sure I walk him and feed him and I was like, and clean up the poop in the backyard, you know, and, you know, what?
Yeah.
Clean,
For the first week.
yeah. It's like the first week that happens. Like, doing it. Fucking this guy right here. Yeah. So no, I'm not. And I said, just think, man, look at the things that we might be able to do this summer because we don't have to worry about someone taking care of one of our parents because, you know, both of her parents passed away. My dad passed away. My mom's pretty much the healthiest of everything right now, but so we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about taking care of a dog. We don't have to worry about a lot of things right now. So maybe this is the summer we can do things like the camping trips and stuff that you guys were talking about doing. And they're like, oh yeah, that'd be great, you know, because it's hard when you have a puppy, man. You can't just drop everything
Right.
and head to fucking 2 states over and do shit. You know, you just can't.
Right.
And it's got to really be wanting to make a commitment. And I'm not ready for that again. That's three 14 to 15-year commitments I made in a row. That is guaranteed a heartbreak every time too. You know what I mean?
I'll also look at it this way. You're about to get a little bit more freedom with the one in college and the one a senior now and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you and the wife could go on a trip by yourselves.
Right. And then get
You know,
there.
like you could come to Michigan or something. Crazy.
Yeah. Hear what I just said? Yeah, I said and get there and then turn around, come back the next day because we missed the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were little, we did that.
Oh.
My mom was going to watch them for us for like the weekend, and they were only like 2 and 4. So we spent one night without them, and then we couldn't. We turned around, and came back the next morning. But now that they're both, in their late teens, and they know everything, and they're assholes, and they smell a lot worse than they used to. Yeah,
Isn't that weird how kids go through that stinky stage?
Place, yeah.
It's like, oh.
Oh, that right in the beginning of puberty stage.
Yeah, oh God.
Fucking
Girls do too.
They don't realize they need deodorant yet.
Something.
They come home and like, hey, what's up? And they walk by and you're like, God damn, dude. It was like, oh yeah, I had gym class today. It's like, what? You don't shower after gym class? No, nobody showers anymore. Obviously, God, you need a shower. Go upstairs, get a shower.
Yeah, girls do the same thing. It's like, ugh.
Oh, man. Then the shit you find in their room sometime, man.
Don't look.
Well,
Don't look.
it was one of those things where it was like, I went in the room and I said, "Do you have this?" He said, "Yeah, it's right there underneath that." And I picked something up, and there was like a plate that probably had Thanksgiving turkey on it or something. And this was like last
Oh
week.
my God.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
Ohio walks in. Oh, look, turkey jerky. Grab it and start gnawing on it.
When you can pick a plate up
By the fork.
by the fork.
It's been there a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have told him, if you would have documented this, you could have passed science class.
And my other son, geez. I busted in on him other night. And I opened the door and I looked at him. I said, "If you don't quit fucking play with that goddamn thing, you're gonna go blind." He's like, "Dad, I'm over here." And I was like, "Oh, sorry. If you don't quit playing with that fucking thing, you're gonna go blind."
Oh, my next dog, if I ever get another dog, is going to be a Belgian Shepherd.
Susie wants a puppy.
Short hair, not a fucking, not the sheepdog kind, but short hair.
That's what my buddy had. He's got a little.
But I need room because they're fucking big. They're big animals, and they got more energy than you can fucking shake a stick at. So you gotta fucking constantly walk them, or have a yard that you can fucking throw a ball somewhere. You know what I mean?
My buddy has a Dutch Shepherd, and he has to go outside and throw a fucking ball with him like 3 times a day.
Yeah, you gotta, because they're high energy, and I had a customer when I was delivering for the sign supplier that he had one, but it was short, and that's why I think it was a mix. Anyways, and he had like a terrier coat, though. You know what I mean? But it was you can tell it was a shepherd. It was a Belgian Shepherd, but it looked like he had a terrier. You know, sometimes terriers look like tigers with the stripes. You know what I mean? That kind of coat. Well,
Brindle.
anyways,
Like a brindle.
yeah. So he says to me, and the first time I ever pulled up, and he says, "Hey," he says, "driver," he says, "You have a problem with dogs?" I goes, "Nope." He's okay, good. He says, "Now he's gonna bark at you." He says, "But I'm telling you," I says, "It's all good, bro. As long as his tail wags, I'm a happy camper." He started laughing. And I go, "What are you laughing at me for?" He says, "Most people wouldn't look for that. Most people just hear a dog barking, and he's, you know." I said, "Oh no, I know when they want to eat me, when they just want to, when they just tell me to go away."
Yep.
Anyways, I get into knowing this dog. And so, after a little time, he says to me, he says, "Mike," I says, "What?" He goes, "Give me your wallet." I said, "All right." So he lets the dog smell my wallet, has his guys working on him, put him in the office, hides my fucking wallet. Took that dog fucking 2 minutes to find that fucking wallet.
Wow.
And I said to him, he says, "Let me tell you how much training class is." But he says, "You know why I'm doing it?" He says, "Why?" He says, "Because I guess he had a relative that went missing, and it was a kid who just wandered through the woods, never found him. So they think he might have either went, fell in the lake, river, whatever. But they never found the kid. So he
Oh
always said,
shit, that's got to be tough.
I'm gonna get a, if that ever happens, this way here, you know what I mean? He says, now, I mean, all the cops have them anyways now, but still, he said, there's no, I hear you. And he says, and he is well trained. He says, what? And he spoke to him in fucking whatever language he spoke to him in. The fucking, that first day I met him when he was barking at me, he says, watch. And then he said he gave him one command, the dog sat and shut his fucking mouth, wouldn't say nothing. He whimpered a little bit, but didn't say a fucking word after that. And then I patted him and he was fine. And every day when the days that I went to deliver to him, it was like he was my best friend.
Cool.
But he had to take him, a couple of times a day, and he had to take him outside and let him.
What's
run
the
up and down the
dog
parking
that
lot.
Boss of the Swamp had? Was that a border collie?
That's actually a shepherd. It's a border collie, but border collies are in the shepherd family.
Got you.
And I think he passed recently.
Yeah, he did. But he said they are energetic and you have to run them and walk them. And
Yes. And that dog lived a long time for lots of reasons.
that dog had a personality. It was cool.
If you, so.
Oh, and by the way, Boss of the Swamp is done making videos.
How come?
That's it. He just done with it.
Oh. He still has a spice company, all right?
Huh?
He still has a spice company, yes?
I do.
He had a spice company.
Oh, I'm sure he does. And his art.
He's had the spice company for years.
But he's done with YouTube. He's leaving the channel up, but he turned off comments so he don't have to deal with it.
He's probably getting a lot of hate. He's been around for years. No, he's been around for. But yeah, no, those, if you, nowadays, with the, because just like our food, right? They're changing all this food for the animals. And it's more, it's more people food, so to speak. They're not using all the you know what I mean? They're not using all the byproducts and horse meat.
That's funny you bring that up. Boss of the Swamp made a video about a certain dog food and said it was killing his dog.
I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Purina Beneful.
Probably, but if you go back to one of his videos and people were sending him shit, all he asked was, don't send me any toys for Frankie, because certain toys would get him sick too. You know what I mean? Like after they chew him, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he would say, so, but there's like 4 of them now that are, I know Blue, what do you call it, is really good. Buddy of mine uses Blue for his dog. And his dog, sometimes they'll tell you, if you're looking up a specific breed of dog, and or a cat, I guess, but it'll tell you like the life expectancies and stuff. And nowadays, they're outliving the original expectancies because of the way if you take care of it with the food and you goes to the vet when it's supposed to and all that shit, they're living longer.
My thing is though, my last 3 dogs have all died as a result of some type of tumor in their stomach causing fluid to surround them. All 3 of them. And
that's bizarre.
The first two we used to feed them Purina Beneful. And after the second one died, the same thing. We seen like a news story like on 60 Minutes or 2020 or something about Purina Beneful. And there was like a class action lawsuit going against them and stuff. And had to change their something was causing this like cancerous tumors or something in the abdomen. And we to this day think that that's probably what killed those two dogs. But
Well-
then our last dog, we didn't use that. We used he was the runt when we got him. He was the runt. He had what is it, parvo or something like that? It's called.
Parvo, yeah.
Yeah, parvo. He had a lot of problems when he was pup. So he was on a special diet because he had some type of pancreatic thing. So he could only have a certain type of food, and it was a prescription. And
Oh no.
we had to go pick it up at the vet all the time. Well, when Chewy, Chewy.com, that was awesome. They had it. We were buying it directly from Chewy, and it was a lot cheaper. And they would send it right to your house.
Right.
Everything. It was still cheaper than going through the vet. So,
Well, since Big Pharma is under attack for making people sick, so they have to stay on meds, I think they're switching over trying to make pets sick, so they got to stay on meds.
yeah,
That's
I don't
my theory.
There's so many. Like
he
I
does
follow
the
this.
same thing, and it was a different type of food too. So
Yeah, but they can share ingredients,
right?
I-
but
I
who
follow
knows?
this couple in
Maybe
Alaska. I follow this couple in Alaska. Simple living, I think it's called.
Yeah, they're good.
They were a young couple, no kids. They both decided neither one of them wanted kids, and yada yada yada. And they got the two dogs. They don't feed their dog food. They feed them people food.
Yeah, as long as it's not full of grease and stuff, it's probably better for them.
Certain people food. When they go on all their salmon fucking
Yeah,
excursions, they'll feed them salmon. When they go on, they shoot a moose. They're getting sometimes they'll cut up the heart and put it in, and then they'll cook the hamburger down, drain it, and give them, you know what I mean? But they give them people. They'll give them people food.
well, that's dog food. That's natural dog food.
But
That's
they
what
said
they
you can't.
eat if they were in the wild.
They said that because she's got like a fucking master's in something. She's a fucking smart broad, that girl. And I know she said, I forget what her thing was, but she's smart as a fucking whip. Anyways, she says never mix. Don't give your fucking dog people food for a week and then give it back in dog food again and go back to people. Just because it fucks their system all the hell.
That makes sense.
I notice a lot of people now with dog owners they're feeding their dogs, instead of kibble, they're feeding fresh meat. They'll do like fresh. They'll cut up like chicken breast and a steak and stuff like that. Pork chops, just they don't cook it; they feed it to them raw. That's what the dog was used to, That's what that's back to nature,
That's how I discovered. I swear to God, this is how I discovered I loved chicken hearts, livers, gizzards, because they'd buy it, they'd boil it, and they'd give it to the fucking dog. My dog.
I'll be all over them chicken
And
livers.
I remember saying to my grandfather, well, I said to my grandfather one time, I go, Papa, I go, what is that? He goes, oh, that's the chicken livers, hearts, and gizzards. He says, we give it to the dog. I know you give it to the dogs, but I says, can people eat that? He's all, Monkey, you won't eat it. I said, why won't I eat it? He says, your father and I will fry them up with, peppers and onions or whatever, and garlic and sometimes mushrooms. But, I said, well, if you ever do that, let me know. I said, I'd like to try it. He fucking came home. I think it seemed like it was the next night. Yeah, here we go, Mikey. And dude, ever since then, my wife still gets the Purdue, not the little one. She gets the fucking ginormous one. And she cooks them up, peppers and onions. And I'm like, oh, it's like being in fucking heaven.
That is like one of the best sandwiches in the world. Chicken livers fried and buttered with a bunch of garlic. Throw that shit on a couple of pieces of bread. Oh my God. Heaven.
My daughter says, "Daddy, what do you eat?" And I go, "Chicken liver. You want some?" She goes, "Chicken? What's chicken liver?" I go, "Liver." She goes, "Liver like the one I have in my body?" I go, "Yeah." I says, "Everybody has got one. Every living thing's, every animal's got one." I says, "I'm eating this." And she goes, "Yeah, that's gross." She says, "Is that like when you eat the deer heart?" I go, "Yeah, same thing." And she goes, "That's gross." I says, "No, it's not gross. Would you like to try it?" She goes, "No, I don't think I'd like it." Well, you never gotta know unless you try it. So I gave her a little piece like this big. And I says, "Try that." I says, "Here." I says, "You want me to go get you some ketchup? You put ketchup on if you want to take, if you want to, as I think it's gonna kill the taste of the garlic and the everything I put on it." But she did, and she was like, "Oh, that's not that bad." So when I do it, I ask her. She's like, "No, not today." But I love the hearts though too. And so Gina just get me the livers. I'm trying to get her to get me the hearts, liver, the whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll do the chicken livers. I'm just as happy with the livers as anything.
My mom always made like giblet gravy with it all.
Yeah, my mom did
Yep.
too. Yep. No, but it's I have no. But in the funny part is that I'll go to a restaurant and order liver and onions. You know what the funny part is? I've yet to eat a deer liver. I don't know why. I just
I've never had chicken liver. I always had beef liver. I've never had chicken liver.
Oh, that's still. You gotta go get it. Go to the chicken section. It's probably on a little shelf right behind the chickens.
Yeah.
Purdue has them. I don't know. I'm sure everybody else has them too, but I eat the Purdue the Purdue kind. I'm telling you, put that right in the fucking frying pan, like
Yeah,
Stevie said,
buddy.
garlic. Fucking, I put I cut up peppers and onions, put it in there, garlic. Like I said, every once in a while, mushrooms. Almost making like a steak bomb out of it, right? But fry that right up in the pan. I don't put it on a sandwich, which is kind of cool. Maybe I will next time.
Oh,
But
it's good. Bread and butter. Pile that
I-
shit on there and go to town.
Yep. And by the way, it's good for your fucking iron.
Yeah.
So
You know what'd be good is a chicken liver sub with the big old French bread.
that would be cool.
Oh. Put about a quart and a half of mayonnaise on it.
Gear
Oh,
grind.
Lord.
We ain't brought that up in a while.
Gear grind says chicken livers are usually in a bait tub.
Yep.
Trevor says, "I love a feed of chicken hot." Tammy hates it when I cook them.
Yeah. Venison heart's my favorite cut of meat of the whole deer.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm.
I've done it so many ways. We baked it one time. I fried it. I like it fried the best.
Yep.
And I'll slice it pretty as thin as the knife will allow me to.
Yeah, about a quarter inch.
And garlic, same thing, garlic, onion. And this year, well, not this year, last year, one of the guys that can really cook, because I just eat for myself. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not cooking for 12 guys, because then it's, you know what I mean? I just don't have that confidence to do that. But when we did the heart this past year, then he made some kind of I don't know, some kind of sauce gravy, whatever you want to call it, right? And he put it over rice.
And by the way, venison liver is very good and mild.
But that hot was fucking beautiful.
You want to hear your broke as fuck recipe, living on your own specialty was
Ramen noodle and egg.
a can of that chunk white chicken. I take a can of that and drain it, and then I would heat up a can of cream of chicken soup, or the cream of chicken or cream of celery or something like that. I'd throw it in there, and then I'd pour that over rice.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's
That's good.
I ate that shit. That was like, I mean, that's a $2 meal right there, man. That's a
Yeah,
$2
it
meal.
used to be that can of chicken will cost you $5 now.
Hey,
Wonder how much it is. How much is a can of
go
chicken?
to the store. Some night it's just you and the wife, right?
Walmart.
Go to the store. Get yourself boneless chicken breast, Ohio, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna bake this. Get yourself a can of cream of mushroom, okay? And get yourself like a half a pound of pick of cheese. This certain recipe actually says use Swiss. So my stepmother used to make it with Danish Swiss. Or baby Swiss a lot, but Danish Swiss, if. Anyways, she would put the cheese right on the chicken. I mean, she'd season the chicken, and then she'd put cheese down. She'd put the cream of mushroom, right? And then she'd put another thing of cheese. And let me fucking tell you something. You thought you were eating fucking caviar, because I don't know if it's the cream of mushroom that does it. I don't know exactly why it tastes so good, but it's just cream of mushroom, fucking Campbell's cream of mushroom fucking soup, 2 pieces of fucking cheese on a chicken breast, and it's fucking delicious. That's all it is. I mean, like I said, you season your chicken, but to whatever you like. But
Man, my aunt used to make like a casserole with like, it was like cream of mushroom soup and hamburger, and then she would like put like sliced potatoes in it, make like a potato casserole. Like they used to get recipes on the back of their electric bill and shit, like back in the 50s and 60s. And my aunt had all these fucking recipes in a damn little box or whatever that she kept on her shelf in the kitchen of all of her old electric bills from like back in the 50s and 60s all the way up to the 70s. And that was one of their favorite meals, was this fucking hamburger, like hamburger hobo casserole or some shit or whatever. And then you can top it off with some fucking like
What's that beef dish that has kind of a mushroom gravy with sour cream in it, and you dump it over noodles?
like beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. That's like quickie stroganoff.
Yeah.
Well, it's like anything else. You remember back in the day, the fucking the brisket was like that's a poor man's fucking poor man's dinner. Now you you slicing throats to get at it,
right?
And especially now that fucking steaks are like fucking $24 a fucking pound.
Yeah, no shit.
My wife says to me, she says, "Hon, I'm not buying a steak." I says, "Okay." And she says, "I don't give a rat's fuck." I said, "I'll shoot a deer. We'll have a steak." Fucking. But I said to her, I said, "Babe, now do you understand why I want a house in the state of New Hampshire where I can have a fucking couple of pigs, a couple of turkeys, shit ton of chickens, and maybe a fucking cow or a steer?" She goes, "No, because I can't look at something and eat it." I go, "Well, whatever. Don't look at it. Don't look in the backyard."
Right.
I said, but listen, the amount of money that it's gonna cost you to feed every one of those fucking animals, you're gonna spend fucking more than that fucking buying fucking food.
Here,
I said, what do you spend? $300 a fucking week on $200 a week on fucking groceries? It's more. I said, okay then. No, you're making my point. I said, so it ain't gonna be $300 a week to feed those animals.
Up here, I can go buy a young pink pig for $60.
Yeah.
And if I want to go hybrid or like an old school breed, it's like 120 for a little pig. You feed that sucker up, you're going to get 100 and 100 pounds of meat or whatever.
Well, they say with pigs, if you have a pig that, because usually people don't weigh their pigs unless you have the equipment to do so. But if and they said there's a mathematical way by measuring it. You measure the girth, the length of the pig, and then the girth, and then there's some mathematical equation that it's pretty spot on. 5, 10, 15 pounds off or something, but it's pretty on. But they say that if you have a 200-pound pig, right, you're gonna get about 175 pounds of fucking meat, 170 pounds,
Right.
170 pounds of meat out of the fucking thing.
Yeah, bang for the buck. It's like the best deal going.
Yes. Whereas, as we know, if you do that with beef, you do that with a cow or a steer, you're not, because
You're only going to get about
well, yeah,
About-
because
about
their coat's
60
heavier, they're fucking
percent
their
of gonna be-
yeah,
the rest is going to be bone and everything
yeah,
else.
they're like a deer. You shoot a 150-pound deer. What are you gonna get? 100 pounds, 95 pounds of meat, 90 pounds of meat, 100 pounds of meat.
More like 50, if you're lucky.
No, when I shot my deer. Well, of course, the guy fucked me up my ass, but my 130-pound buck, I should have got more than a fucking 8x11 paper box. The box of.
Right.
And that was I'm like, nope, that guy fucked us right up the ass, because I sent my wife and she didn't realize, and that's fine. But again, there is a mathematical equation. So at 130, I should have got at least 60-something pounds of fucking, actually a little bit better than 60 pounds of meat.
Tell you what, I had a good buddy of mine.
Wow, Piglet's $120 for Trevor. I'm sorry. Ohio.
I had a good buddy of mine. He was really good at butchering deer, and he's like, I killed a deer one year, and he said, don't take that. He said, don't take it to the. We take to the meat market, and you get a little tag for it or whatever, and you write down what you want, like burgers or chops or whatever. But, he said, "Oh, don't do that." He's like, "I'll be over." He's like, "I'll be over, and we'll butcher it up in the garage." I said, "Okay." I said, "Just go get a tarp or some bisqueen or something and lay it in the
Right
garage."
on, Trevor.
So I went and picked up a cheap ass tarp at Walmart. He came over that night. Man, he butchered the hell out of this fucking deer, and I mean, he was like, he brought over paper and like wrapped everything as he was doing it and marked it with a marker, and here you go, put it in your fucking freezer, man. I had steaks, ribs, chops, shanks, and he had a bunch of shit, and he said, "I'll be back in a couple of days with The next thing you know, I had fucking summer sausage and ground beef, yeah. And then he made it himself at his kitchen, him and his wife, and they put they mixed like sausage, just like regular Bob Evans, like sage sausage, just mixed that in with it and made some like deer sausage burger type things, and man, they're good.
Breakfast up.
That's what I told the wife. I said, if I shoot a doe, I said, I'll save her a backstrap, but everything else is going to be fucking ground hamburger. And she's like, why? I said, because it'll taste great. It'll be the leanest fucking hamburger you ever had.
Yeah, but I mean, he butchered that thing to where there wasn't much of a carcass when he was done. I mean, he had use this when you make some soup. He's like, use this for a pot of soup. Use this for this.
The neck is good for soup. The neck is great for soup.
Venison stew. Haven't had that in a while.
Yeah.
Slow cooked all day. Mm.
Stevie, you know what
I-
somebody told me? What did I don't know if somebody told me or I watched it. He was doing pigs for his family, just him and his wife and his kids, and he had 2, and then all of a sudden he had 3, and so some YouTuber, somebody must have chatted, must have asked a question on the previous video about you have 3 pigs now, why? And he said he's raising a 3rd one, and he's going to sell it because pork, you can sell the pork an X amount per pound, and you have 180 pounds of whatever, 150 pounds of pork, 100 pounds of pork. It at least covers some of the cost of the fucking feed that you're giving the fucking pigs.
Right. Now, see, back in the day, we had a family in our neighborhood that raised hogs, and they raised 3, and they gave 1 to the butcher, and he butchered their hogs for free,
Free. That's
wrapped
cool.
and ready for the freezer.
Okay, Mike. So what you're saying is they had 3 hogs. They get 2 of them.
For the family.
They get 2 of them processed for them, and then the 3rd one they process, they sell it.
Yep.
Basically pays for the other 2.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, I guess they said that it's not like, they're putting a stand out in front of their house. They'll put a thing or, like on Facebook or whatever, and it's one person will come and buy 100 and, whatever pounds of fucking,
Yeah,
however much the thing weighed that, you know what I'm saying?
My one buddy buys a quarter of a cow every year.
I'm trying to convince the guy I work with. Every year I say to him, I says, dude, I'll give you money for the feed. I'll pay for the fucking. He says, no, I do it. I says, you do your own butchering? He says, fuck yeah. I says, and I'll pay you to do the butchering. I says, but I got nowhere to raise a pig. And he's like, let me talk to the wife. And and she works there too. She works on the inbound. And I bumped into her one day. She says, you're not mad at me, are you? I said, why would I be mad at you? She said, well, because I know that she says, you know what it is? It's just, she says, because if he does it for you, somebody's going to say, oh, he's doing it for and then the next, I'm going to have fucking 15 fucking pigs in my house. I don't want 15 pigs in my house. I says, listen, Jackie, I totally get it. It's all good. I'm easy. It's no big deal. But if I could find somebody that'll do that for me, and I want to be, you know what I mean? I would love to be able to butcher it myself, but I got nowhere to, I don't have a walk-in cooler. You know what I mean?
Went down, not the Mikey that I know. He might have said that, but on his way out, he probably said, well, he already raised one fucking hog, so I figured he knew how to raise one or another one.
Right.
That's something Mikey would say.
Oh, wow. Gig Riding used to buy 150 pounds of burger a year from a guy, but his parents retired and sold off the cattle.
Right on. The only thing about buying a quarter of a cow or a half a cow, you got to know who you're buying it from, because you'll end up with some ancient milk cow that died out in the field and they just got it in the freezer.
Oh, no.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, he buys it off of the same cat. That's a cattle place that the other guy that we went to school with. So he's always trying to get me to go in and buy, like a half with him or whatever. And I don't have
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and I don't have the room right now, man. I gotta clean out.
And then you need a freezer. You need a decent sized freezer. This one here, I forget how many cubic.
Dude, I have
This
one.
one here is small.
I have a big
small freezer right behind me. I think it's only like 36. I don't know. It's probably 36 by 24 or something. So it's not very. I forget how deep it is.
4 6-foot mint.
But no, it's a lot, but
Did you just say 4 6-foot men?
Yeah. It's a big freezer. But that's not what's in the freezer right now.
My
Well, you
favorite
Throw
freezer.
out them old crappy vegetables.
Hey, my favorite freezer I gave to my kid brother when I moved out of my house when I lived down the street and I had the house. The landlord says to me, he says one day, he says, "Hey, by the way," he says, "I'll get rid of that freezer for you if you don't want it." I said, "What freezer?" He says, "The one that's down in the basement." I go, "Is that the fridge?" He goes, "No, that's the freezer." I goes, "It is?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Holy shit. I haven't seen a stand-up freezer like ever." And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "Shit, I never knew that." I go downstairs, open the door, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be lovely." We used that thing, and then when I moved, I couldn't bring it to my apartment. It was so fucking small. The first apartment I had was like, I would have been able. It would have been great here. If I can find another one, I'm fucking jumping on it.
My mom has a stand-up one.
They're
Stand up.
so hard around here to get, you know. But it's a stand up and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to bend over and dig down looking through a bunch of shit.
Exactly.
But you know what I had that was cool is I had a deep freeze, like chest freezer, that was about the size of a mini fridge, like you put in your dorm room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I and we kept it right in the back door by the kitchen, like by the back kitchen door, and it always had it was nothing but popsicles in it. Stayed pop. Yeah, two kinds. The freeze pops, the ones that come in the plastic, you got to cut the top off. And then the ones that come on the ones that come on the two sticks, and you got to squeeze the sticks together to break them and split them.
Yep.
Frozen Kool-Aid.
Supposed to whack them on the corner of the counter to split them. Otherwise, they just get all crooked and they don't taste right if they're crooked.
Oh, is that what it is? They don't taste right if they're crooked.
You get that extra lump that sheets off the top of the one next to it. It's like, oh, now it's ruined.
Because like you get into like at the end of July in the summertime, and the only thing was left was fucking green and orange. And Mom went, are all gone.
I will say what I'm going to
try. Best popsicle I ever had was I had a cotton candy one that was absolutely awesome, and then a bubblegum one that just, oh my God.
Orange or root beer.
I used to like the raspberry.
I like orange or root beer popsicle. But I am gonna back to fucking steer though. I am gonna find a fucking cow's tongue somewhere too and cook that fucker. I've been dying to have beef tongue.
What are you doing? Mussels?
I've been dying to have beef tongue.
She just grabs a microwave with a big water filter on top of it, like she's going to take off walking with it. I thought, what the hell? She just moved it over a couple inches.
Any of you guys ever eaten goat?
Yes.
Yeah,
not for a very long time.
I mean, I've had lamb.
I was a teenager last time I had goat.
I've had goat's milk.
Wussy?
I've had lamb.
Pussy girl. There you go.
I think the only goat I've had was that sausage stuff they put on a gyro.
Well, that's
Gyro.
Lamb. Oh, is it lamb?
Gyro. With the special white sauce.
It's a gyro.
Oh, it is a yogurt sauce.
It's a gyro.
Yeah, I had a Greek lady told me the G is silent. It's almost like gyro.
Yeah. Well, just like they're not grinders, they're subs. Same fucking thing.
She put a tongue roll in on it though.
Could be a hoagie.
I got your hoagie.
Didn't he? Yeah. What you don't know about hoagies?
Isn't that what they call them in Philadelphia too? Is hoagies?
Yep.
And then you know what else kills me about Philadelphia? You know what kills me about Philadelphia? You buy that Philadelphia cream cheese, and when I think of Philadelphia, I don't think of cream cheese. Vermont, Wisconsin, you know what I mean? I'll think about
Yeah.
cream cheese from them. Philly, I think about people getting shot, stabbed, fucking going to a football game, getting batteries thrown at you. You know, I haven't purchased my fishing license yet this year. Either. Well, I did actually, but I haven't taken because it did run out. I fucked up. I looked at the thing.
By trap.
Well, I fucked up because I thought when I went ice fishing, I was good. But the problem was I remembered that I went ice fishing. The first time I went was like 3 inches of 3 or 4 inches of ice. That was the day that fish yelled at me. That was the end of December, and then when I went again, I don't think I purchased another one, so I kind of fished without a license a couple of times this winter. So I had a which is weird because usually I buy the fucking combo license, my sportsman license.
Yep.
You know, and I got them all last year. Last year? No, year before. What the fuck year was it? Last year? Yes. Last year I got them all this time. I even spent the fucking $10 in case I wanted to fucking go upstairs or go downstairs here actually because he has them out in his bin and grab one of his fucking surf casting rods and go in the ocean. I want to try striper fishing again this year. So I don't know whether I'm going to go. They're already catching them, which is, I have no idea how they're doing it. But they don't run until like the end of June. But they're catching them already.
Huh.
But the only thing I hate is that it's 28 to keep and 31 you have to give back, or 30 you have to give back. That's the only bummer.
That's a pretty narrow slot limit.
Oh, wicked narrow. And the last striper I caught, holy shit, it was with that girl that made me get down and put the dog down. And we were on North Scituate Beach in Mass. And I was I was fishing in the ocean with a fucking regular fucking freshwater rod. And I caught a fucking striper. And I'm like, this rod's just going to break. You know, I got like 10-pound test on or something, but still, this rod's just going to break. It didn't break. The reel was fucking disgusting afterwards, but anyways, I think when I measured it, and I measured it like 3 times, and that son of a bitch was like 27 and a quarter or 20. Just a fucking pubic hair over 27, right? And I look at her, she looks at me. I look at her, she looks at me. She goes, "Babe, we keeping that fish?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to." I says, "But as soon as I put it in this fucking cooler, we're gonna go right to the truck and go home." And she says, "Okay, let's go." I goes, "I can't." Said, "What do you mean you can't?" I says, "I take this fish, I put it in the cooler." She goes, "Is it legal?" I goes, "No." And she goes, "Well, how?" I says, "It's got to be 28." She goes, "Michael, it's like a little over 27. I go, "Yep." She says, "Who the hell's going to care about less than an inch?" I go, "My grandfather." She goes, "But your grandfather's passed." I go, "Yep. And he's going to roll in his fucking grave, and then I'm going to have the worst luck in the world for the rest of my fucking shit and rotten life if I keep this fucking fish."
Mike,
I
the
threw
secret is
fish back.
you run them up to the car and tuck that tail under the front wheel, and then you just run them over. She'll stretch to 28.
But it's the only one I ever caught. And
it guts it for you.
that's what we used to do to fucking kibbies. That lake where I grew up, we catch a kibby and literally go just like this. Oh, kibby. Not even take it off. We just do this.
Whack.
and the thing would wind up because the main drag was right behind us, and all you hear was pop, 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 pop all fucking day long.
What's a kibby?
Sunfish. We used to call them kibbies. Kid at work asked me why I removed my cap when I'm eating lunch. I said, because my grandpa will come back from the dead and smack it off my head if I don't. Gig riding. You see that I have a hat on, obviously, right now. If my grandfather were here today and he came to visit me and I answered the door with a fucking hat on my head, his first words would be, "Oh, you're going out? I thought you..." I'll be like, and I would probably have to lie to him, which I wouldn't want to do, and get caught. And say, "Yeah, no, I gotta go to the store." Because if I ever wore a hat in his house, dude, he was my mom's dad. But his no filter reminds me of my father. Because we'd be out to dinner. It didn't matter if it was guys, young kids, young guys or older guys. And if they had a hat on, my grandfather had no problem standing up from the booth we were sitting in, walking over, tapping the guy on the shoulder, "Hey, take your goddamn hat off your head. You're inside a building." And he just didn't care.
And we all know if Mike says somebody don't have a filter, he don't have a filter.
Right.
Oh no. Yeah, no, he had no filter. He was. Hey,
Yeah,
boy, what's going on, kid?
Mr. Boyd.
Yeah,
Hey,
we had
boy.
another one. Growing up in the age you were allowed to, you don't see a lot of guys doing enlisted jogging nowadays, but we thought of nothing hanging around, walking around with no shirts on all day during the summer. Nowadays,
you had to have it tucked in your back pocket in case you need to go inside 7-Eleven.
Right. But I'll tell you what, and the other thing was now, I wasn't rich. I wasn't, so we didn't have air conditioning. And I lived in an old house. I'll tell you how old the house was. We had weights in the windows. Inside the windows, the weights. We used to think there was sticks of dynamite because then when we got the newer windows, we'd find them and we'd throw them at each other. But if we came in the house for lunch, or if we were up north, and my mother would call us for lunch or something, we had to put our t-shirts on. The only time you didn't have to put a t-shirt on is if we were at the beach and you were sitting at a picnic table. It's the only time she didn't make us wear a shirt. But because I would sit in the house with no shirt on, no big deal. Because that's just how it was back then. And besides, I didn't have to hide a gut. But it didn't matter if I was home alone and I sat at that table without a shirt and she walked to that back door. Oh, forget it. My grandfather, even worse. Even worse.
Yeah, back in the good old days before they invented skin cancer, we never had shirts on when we were kids.
Never. I don't remember. I really don't. I mean, obviously, if it rains or something, but on a good weather day, I can honestly say after I hit, I don't know, 12 or something. So that was what, 1979. I don't think I wore a fucking shirt in the summertime. I mean, unless I was on the beach, my mother made me, and because I don't ever remember her putting anything on my fucking. Because I'm as white as this fucking t-shirt. You know what I mean? So I burn like a bitch. But if we're going through the woods, no shirt on.
Yep.
Getting in a hot car with no shirt on. leather seat.
Yeah, leaning back against that vinyl on the back of your legs because you got little short shorts on. Woo!
That's what they make beach towels for.
I'll tell you what, we went, me and two of my brother-in-laws, we went riding ATVs, and we got into a mud pit, man, and we had a blast. And we all rode in the same truck, right? And we're just covered in mud and everything. And when we load the four-wheeler up in the truck and everything, we go to get in, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, you're not getting in my truck with all that mud on. We're stripping down. We grown ass men stripped down just nothing but our boxers. Driving home. And then the oldest one, brother-in-law, is like, hey man, swing through McDonald's. I want a cheeseburger. And he started pulling. I was like, the fuck out of here. You ain't driving with three grown men in their underwear. Fuck, yes, we did. And I was like, well, fuck it. Since we're going through, you might as well get me a fucking cheeseburger too.
You do that now, you go to jail.
The best part was when we pulled into the house and then like all the neighbors were like out, like, you know, mowing grass and watering their flowers and shit. And I was like, man, I do not want to get out of the house and walk up. I said, why don't you pull closer up to the garage and we'll open the garage door and go in that way.
That's the best lunch in the world, kid, right? PB&J. It's the only thing I can have. Didn't matter if it was 100 degrees out or fucking 10 below. PB&J tastes good no matter what time of fucking.
Not Thursday, right?
No. Tomorrow's Sunday. Woohoo!
Oh, holy shit! Today's Sunday. It's 1:38 a.m. on the East Coast. So you know what that means? I'm turning to a pumpkin, and I gotta piss again. Holy shit! 3 hours and 17 minutes, just about.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely call tonight. I'm tired.
We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Look at that. 2 weeks in a row, kids.
Wow. New record.
That's a record, kid.
Remember
we're gonna get
back
out of
in the
here.
day we used to like do it like 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week.
You guys, thanks for being here. You guys out in the chat room, Gear and our boy and Kid NASCAR was here. Chris was here. That was awesome seeing Chris. I mean, like I said, I follow him on Facebook and stuff. We're always on Facebook, but it was good to have him in here. Cameo. Who's that new person that came in here too?
New old person? Wyndham?
Trevor. No. Trevor, it's always a pleasure seeing you, my friend. No, it was a new person. I missed it. Remember, you guys? Oh, I didn't even know Red Nat Pepper was here. I feel like a fucking asshole. Did Red Nat Pepper come in when I took a piss?
He might have.
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Whoops.
fuck. Hey, Redneck, I'm sorry, my brother. I'll go through it tomorrow and find out who it was. I'll click on his channel. And, thank you for coming in. Because I know it was somebody new. And Vanessa. It was cool seeing Vanessa. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. And you never know. We might do this again next Saturday or Friday.
I'm going to make a new video tomorrow to replace the one I had to delete today because some dumbbell don't know how to run his phone camera.
Well, text me when you upload it because for whatever reason I have to go searching for you. I'm not searching. When I do it on the TV because you're right there on the thing. So I just click on you. But just in case, just text me and let me know you uploaded it. Because if I'm down here, I won't. I don't know what's going on. somebody told me to. I forget who the fuck told me. Somebody told me to defriend you and then friend you like 2 minutes later. For it to kick, and then I should be able to. But all right, you guys, we're gonna get out of here, guys. I'm gonna leave right from here.
Me too.
Yeah,
Right.
deja vu. Oh, by the way, you left it live last time. You hit
How
the
did I
wrong
do that?
button,
What?
You left?
Stream?
and it was a Stephen Dish show. You should have stuck around and watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, Redneck, I'm sorry, my brother. I didn't. I was just scrolling, look for the other person's name, and I saw that you were here. So I want to apologize for not acknowledging that you were here. I feel like an ass.
Hey,
But it is
Redneck.
always a pleasure to see you, sir. All right, you guys, we're out. Hopefully, I'll be here next week. I got to call. I got to get a hold of Jezzo too. I haven't heard from Jezzo in a while. But all right, you guys, we're out. Peace.
Peace.
Ciao, everybody.
Good night.